At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
Times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
All right, fans, welcome to Beresford High School, Cortland Carn Stadium for this big 11A playoff matchup between the visiting Canton Seahawks and your Beresford Watchdogs. On the Watchdogs live ticket tonight, this is Jared Olson, business manager at the Beresford School, and I'm joined by Heath Nimke again. Heath, welcome to Beresford.
Oh, Jared, it's great to be with you. It doesn't get any better than this on a Thursday night. Yeah, it's a little rainy out there. It's been cold all day long. But it's playoff football. You can definitely find plenty of heat, and it's going to be some great action for Canton and Beresford tonight.
Yeah, huge matchup early in the season for the Watchdogs and the Seahawks. We'll get to that just shortly here, but let's just kind of talk in general 11A. It's been pretty exciting all season long, and really kind of that playoff picture and teams bouncing around came right down to that last week.
It certainly did, and I think going into this year, there were a lot of different teams that you looked at and said, hey, this is where they're going to be at. This is where they could fall at. When it comes to the final playoff picture, though, and how everything kind of came together, I don't even know if we really expected one team to be undefeated all the way through Class A, but Del Rapids was able to do that. Then after that, it really seemed like a dogfight. I mean, you had West Central finish there at second, but some would still say that, other games could have gone different ways for the Trojans, and they might have not been there. Beresford, where did Beresford Watchdogs come from? A team that jumps up from Class 11B to 11A. I think they shocked a lot of Class 11A. They played phenomenal this season. And then even Sioux Falls Christian, Dakota Valley, kind of Canton and Madison, all just hanging around there in the middle of the pack. And then as you mentioned, it comes down to the very last game. A lot of different things had to happen right in scenarios. And ultimately, it comes back down to the old adage of seed points once again, because Vermilion Tanagers get left out of the playoffs even though they had a better record. But again, when it comes to teams they played against compared to Lennox basically had to have Vermilion win to make sure Belfouche was eliminated. And that happened for them even after they got the loss to Sioux Falls Christian, again, them finishing at 3-6. So Lennox just happy to be in the playoffs. I can tell you this much, knowing Vermilion fans, they will really look back to not being mad about how their record was better than Lennox, but more specifically how they lost on my birthday against Chamberlain on their homecoming, a game they should have had. They didn't get it. Of course, they win that. It's a much different story.
Yeah, my brother is from Puckwana, Chamberlain area. His kids go to school in Chamberlain, so I follow the Cubs a little bit. Mm-hmm. And you're right, that was a game they probably would want to get back again.
Yep. But in the end, it doesn't work out for them. And then you look at the playoff picture now, and I think a lot of people are very interested in Class 11A. I know what a lot of people are going to say is Del Rapids is a heavy favorite, undefeated. But I think they got some of their wins not by winning games, but their opponent shooting themselves in the foot. Mistakes on turnovers. You can even look back to their game against Beresford's one good example of Del Rapids getting a victory. So I just feel like Class 11A is so up for grabs. I mean, Jared, when you take a look at it, does it seem like it's clean cut to you?
No, I think we're just kicking stuff around the hallways. I get stuck in my office quite a bit, but I did pop out into the lobby the other day right about lunchtime, and one of the custodians was coming by, started talking 11A football. One of the players, seniors, kind of caught me in the lobby. He's like, oh, yeah, this could happen or that could happen. And the reality is a lot of these games are toss-ups. They're coin flips.
They really are. I mean, you look at that Sioux Falls Christian Dakota Valley game, that one just seems like it's two teams that have a really good roster. I mean, they're extremely deep. They can both really throw the football around, and they can both really run it. I like the skill positions. If I had to be honest, I'm going to tell Del Rapids beats Lennox tonight. I would take Dakota Valley, the 5 seed, over the 4 seed Sioux Falls Christian. I think they really have the outstanding players. At 2-7, West Central has been beat up. They really got handled by Winter a few weeks ago and actually got a lot of guys injured during that game. Madison has that 7 seed. Ben Brooks, the quarterback for Madison, has been phenomenal this year. They actually have been sitting out a few different players who picked up injuries in the middle of the season, Madison did, that they said they're going to bring back now for the postseason. So I think that is really going to play a huge factor. And then, of course, this game tonight, everyone's going to make a reference back to week 2, 7-6. We got the victory. I'm going to be honest with you. I think you look back to that week 2 game and throw it out the window immediately. Because, yes, it was a win for Beresford. Canton hasn't necessarily changed a whole lot, but this is a Beresford Watchdogs team that's changed quite a bit. They don't look the same way they did during week 2.
Yeah, Beresford's second game of the season. We go into Canton. Again, I don't think anybody really looked at Beresford. I think they knew, like, hey, you had a great season last year in 11B, the little playoff run that happened and all those miracles and stuff. But, I mean, people kind of knew we had some good players back. But I don't think they necessarily thought, hey, jumping into 11A, that you're going to be a serious contender in the top half of 11A. And that was really the goal going into Canton was, let's make a mark. Let's get a statement game. And they did. They come out of that with a 7-6 victory. Beresford scores early in the game with a little hook and ladder.
Yep.
So trick play gets them on the board early. Beresford gets kind of caught in their own territory early, gets a punt blocked.
Yep.
Canton puts that in a play or two later. Misses the extra point, so it's 7-6, but the reality was 99% of that game happened between the 40 and the 40.
It really did. In talking to head coach Scott Eber, I was able to sit down with him earlier today, and he made reference to that block punt, and he goes, you look back at that was a mistake by the coaching staff, because the coaching staff, half of them said, we're going to call a timeout, just go out there, and the other half said, no, we're going to punt this away. Ultimately, the ball was snapped. As you mentioned, it was blocked 8 yards out for Canton Seahawks. You kind of expect them to score. So again, just a simple coach's mistake. You wipe that off the board. It was punting back and forth, and it was running the football a lot in that game. So, yeah, you're expecting a close game. You're expecting a low-scoring game. But it's really going to be interesting to see if either team can kind of get their offense going a little bit more in this game than they did in week 2.
Yeah, and you referenced the Watchdogs have evolved quite a bit. I mean, from what we looked like, and I'll talk maybe more offensively, what we looked like offensively the first 2, 3, and maybe games 3 and 4, compared to what we look like offensively now. And we talked about it a couple weeks ago when we had former assistant coach Alex DeVries on is, the team has evolved and the coaching staff has put in new wrinkles and they're mixing some new stuff in. And, we can still spread the ball out, just not what we're going to do every down. Here, we're going to pound it a little more at you between the tackles. But let's look at common opponents that both teams have faced. Both teams played Sioux Falls Christian. Beresford beat them a few weeks ago by 2. Canton beats them by a touchdown. Lennox Orioles, that's, again, just seems like if you're going to play the Orioles, we're just going to put points on the board.
Yeah, exactly.
And Beresford comes out there with a victory with a 19-point spread. Canton beats them by 11. And then the Del Rapids Warriors, Both teams lose to the Warriors. Again, a great team. Beresford loses by 14. You referenced maybe just a couple bad bounces of the ball. And the Seahawks fall to the Warriors by 6 points. So common opponents, we're kind of back and forth right in that same range. Really kind of all adds up to this should be a great game tonight.
Yeah, it really should be a great game. There's nothing really, when you look on paper at least, that separates these two teams. And what I think makes it extremely interesting too is when it comes to playoff football, you look at a lot of different teams who say, all right, we held something back. There's this little bit of wrinkle that now we're going to add in. We feel confident about it. Not Beresford. They're like, nope, we're going to run the football. This is who we are. This is what we've established. This is what we've been successful. This is what we're going to do. Now stop us in doing it. I'm really looking forward to seeing who can make that stop on defense. But, yeah, you just, on paper, this definitely is going to be another close game. And it seems like, unless you play a team like against Lakota Tech, Beresford likes close games, and somehow they always find a way to win.
Yeah, this team has got some grit, that's for sure. And, tonight, rainfall, we saw a little bit of moisture a couple weeks ago. Not a lot, but a little bit kind of coming down. It's maybe 4 weeks ago when we had Jeff Gross here in the set. But today's coming down pretty steady. You look up at the lights here at Quarterfinal Stadium, and you can certainly see plenty of moisture coming down. The fans are here with umbrellas and ponchos and garbage bags on. Who does this benefit? Or is it equal knowing that both teams are going to probably keep the ball on the ground?
The old coach's cliche would be, we feel comfortable with what we have. We can run the football for both teams, as I mentioned. And just that's all we have to do is take care of the football. All right, taking care of the football and actually going in live game action when it comes to playoffs are two totally different things. When it comes to who does it take advantage of a little bit more, I think there's probably two different factors that I look at. The first is a very easy factor, and that is having momentum, having the home crowd behind you for the Beresford Watchdogs. But maybe the bigger factor that I like to look at it on the football kind of aspect of it all is it benefits the Beresford Watchdogs, because this is a team that when it comes to their offense, you mentioned they can spread it out. They can change things around, but they just don't. When it comes to the Canton Seahawks, this has probably been the most dynamic football team offensive that can run different formations in, that can spread it out. They can run something out of this spread. They can bring in 2 wingbacks if they would like to. They can load up the house with 3 different running backs. They have so many different aspects that once you start overcomplicating the game in weather like this, it starts to compound the factor. So if you look at the advantage, I would give a slight advantage to the Watchdogs tonight.
All right, we will know shortly here. We're going to have, we've got our production crew here with us tonight. Renee James currently on the production machine. We've got Easton Boom here early on the camera helping us out. He'll probably be on the production computer. Heath, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back and talk just a little bit about maybe some 11B action, as that still interests a lot of our fans, as we've known that for quite a while now. And then we'll get ready to kick off here at Beresford High.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
All right, welcome back to Beresford High School, Cortland Carnes Stadium. Jared Olson and Heath Nimke on the call tonight. Heath, we've talked a little bit about kind of leading up to 11A, all the matchups, the excitement there. Before we jump out of 11A, let's just talk about your trip. You kind of followed the Tanagers. You were out in Belfouche last week. Kind of what's the recap of the Bronx?
Well, the Bronx were another good team that just couldn't get it together, it seemed like last week, getting to cover the Vermilion Tanagers. Well, when it comes to West teams, there's one thing that they are always going to be. It's a scrappy, die-hard football team that's really going to get after you. They really like to pound it inside the tackles. But for Vermilion, they were able to shut down the run extremely quickly. The Belfouche Bronx got themselves in trouble early in the first and second quarter with turnovers. Vermilion was finally able to take advantage midway through the second quarter, and after that they were able to pull away, get a nice 27 victory to wrap up the season. And it actually happened to be, we knew by the second quarter of that game, the broadcasters knew, the coaches knew, the players, however, did not. The players did think they still had a chance, but Beresford ended Vermilion's chance of making the playoffs by the second quarter when they whomped all over Lakota Tech.
Yeah, so our kids had a unique experience to travel out to the reservation, the Pine Ridge Reservation, and take on Lakota Tech. And again, by record, you went out there, coaches had me telling the kids, we've got to stay focused, but you know you're going to go out there and beat Lakota Tech. And I watched that game, the broadcast. We knew it was going to be over at halftime. You and I had talked previously. I knew the scenario that they needed that victory. So as soon as our game was done with Lakota Tech, I quick hopped over on live ticket to the Tanagers and watched part of your broadcast. And boom, within 5 minutes of being on, you're like, hey, it went final at Pine Ridge against Lakota Tech. Beresford wins. Tanager season will be over after tonight. This is the seniors' last game. So
yeah, and it was great, of course, to just have Vermilion, Beresford, Lakota Tech. We've talked so much about this, and even watching playoffs from around the state of South Dakota, it seems like everyone's on live ticket TV right now. It's free to watch. Of course, Canton as well is on live ticket TV. It's just been a great service for everyone kind of around the state of South Dakota to jump on board, to get that advertising dollars back into the school's hands as well. It's just been phenomenal and so easy to watch. And by the way, Mount Rushmore is same old rocks in the air, I guess.
Still there, yeah.
But it's still there, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, our kids had a great experience. Lakota Tech, great hospitality. A couple of the bus drivers were texting me pictures after the game that, you know, they treated them to Tatanka stew and fry bread and homemade jam and stuff. I mean, it's just really a pretty cool thing for our kids to go out there and, again, see the reservation and take on Lakota Tech. But then afterwards, such great hospitality as they sent us back on the 6-hour drive home again. But great hospitality, great opportunity. I think coaches are probably glad that's behind us. And we now move on to the playoffs here. So they're working on starting lineups. Let's talk just quickly about 11B here. I've got a couple games. They are in now their second week of playoffs, so they play 8 regular season games. They're in their second week of playoffs. A couple games I kind of got here. Mount Vernon Plankinton, the 4 seed, coming against McCook Central Montrose, the 5 seed. And then maybe looking ahead to next week, I hate to kind of forecast based off of seeding or points or anything, but if Aberdeen Roncalli and Elk Point Jefferson both win tonight, they will face off next week. What a matchup that'll be.
That will be a great matchup, but I got my opportunity to interview both Aberdeen Roncalli and Hot Springs head coaches. They expected a very defensive battle in that football game. And in fact, it did get kicked off at 6 o'clock this evening as they're about to approach halftime. Hot Springs is leading 7-0 in that game. So I don't want to pump the brakes too fast, but we could see kind of a slight number upset there. And Hot Springs getting the win. Yes, it's only close to halftime, but as of right now, Elk Point Jefferson all over Redfield, 28-0 as they're approaching halftime as well. So, but could be a really great matchup coming up. You look at the Mount Vernon Plankinton, McCook Central Montrose. That's a complete toss-up. Everyone kind of already has winner inside the dome. I don't know if that's going to happen. They're playing great against Dual right now. They are leading 16-8 about halfway through the second quarter there.
Yeah, Winter Warriors just a different beast there within 11B. I mean, they've taken on a couple of 11A opponents this year and really had, I don't want to say no trouble with them, but they're clearly the better team in each of those games.
Yeah, Winter has just been a phenomenal team this year, and it's all built by the tradition of winning. Once you have a program that's constantly winning, if you're anybody that's a boy growing up, you watch that, you want to be a part of that program, of course you jump into it as soon as you possibly can. It's just that tradition they built in Winter.
All right, Heath, we are really close to wrapping up starting lineups here. They're going to do the national anthem. We'll point the camera over at the flag here at the northeast corner of Cortland Karn Stadium, and we'll just kind of go silent here as we do the national anthem. We'll come back with kickoff here between the Canton Seahawks and the Beresford Watchdogs. All right, we're back live here at Cortland Karn Stadium, just moments away from kickoff. They will call the captains out and flip the coin shortly here, but nice October, cool evening, little breeze, certainly some rain coming down. You can see it in the lights. It's pretty special. I mean, high school football, it really doesn't get much better than this.
This is high school football at its best at the 11A level as well. We talk about two historic programs. For the Beresford Watchdogs, it's been since 1993 since they have won a home playoff football game right here in Beresford. They're trying to finally end that streak of almost 30-plus years, a little underneath that. And for the Canton Seahawks, a team that has been built by a tradition of winning, whether it's been in Class 11B or it's been in Class 11A, they have been dominant coming in as the 6th seed. The expectations still are the same. They want to get to the Dome, and it all begins with an upset tonight over the Watchdogs.
Yeah, Watchdogs with a heartbreaking loss, 2018, I think it was, against Sioux Falls Christian. That was one of our first home playoff games in, I want to say it was close to 20 years at that time. And, tonight, again, just looking to get a little bit of redemption and clinch that victory. And we experienced depth within the playoffs last year in 11B. Now looking to see what we can do within 11A. So the toss, Beresford, as they typically have done all year long, defer. And they're going to let Canton take the ball first, and the Watchdogs will take their choice for the second half.
That means Josh Merkel and this offense is going to come out. Of course, what we've seen with the Canton Seahawks all season long has been that option of either running the football or passing. Of course, we expect a lot of them to run, but of course, you have to watch out for Josh Merkel with his arm coming into this game. He's already thrown for over 1,000 yards so far this season. He has scored 8 touchdowns, 6 on the ground, 6 throwing, 2 on the ground, and he's about 50%. So if the Canton Seahawks decide to throw the football tonight, you got to make sure you don't overcommit and blitz too much. Otherwise, you look at also Kane Wallner, who's back in the lineup tonight at the running back position and also wide receiver. He was out a few weeks ago after picking up a hamstring injury. He's back for the Canton Seahawks. He looks to be explosive. And then who else are you going to go to? I mean, you can go to McCracken. You can go to Cale Ask. It's going to be interesting to see in this first quarter who the Canton Seahawks rely on early.
All right, Watchdogs getting ready to tee it up here. The officials have got little scarves around their neck. I mean, they're ready for some nice, cool weather. Kicking off for the Watchdogs, Ryan Svegan's kind of taking that duty on here the second half of the season, or the last third of the season maybe. And who do we got back deep for the Seahawks here? Back set up about the 20-yard line. Just enough of a glare off the window here. I just can't quite pick it up.
It looks like that is Kane Wallner who's back there along with Ask, who are back for the Canton Seahawks. Now it looks like Ask is going to get it on the return here, trying to find some space.
Couple good blocks. He is grabbed by number 11. That's Micaiah James.
So here comes Canton Seahawks. They set up in good field position, just past the 35. If you want to get going here, so mention that first quarter, it all starts with good field position. And again, on a wet, rainy Thursday night, we'll see how much they decide to pound the rock early.
All right, Seahawks first and 10 from their own 37-yard line. They're going to spread it out. Twins left, twins right. Shotgun formation. Quick little hit, screen to the outside. That is blocked by Tadlock. He was having none of it.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal so far this season. They try to go to the quick wide receiver screen that time to Matt Anderson, one of the key wide receivers they've relied on all season long. But just, again, Tad does a great job of sticking the hands up. As they always say, if you can't get to the quarterback, you can't get to the running back, make sure you get your hands up. Does a nice job there to deflect that one away.
All right, Seahawks are going to go under center this time. Tight end right, couple split left. I formation. Quick dive. He's hit in the backfield. That initial contact was made by number 56. That's Aaron Larson, or is that Jensen?
McCracken was in there on the carry, and he went for no yards. McCracken, again, he's been phenomenal all year long, rushing for just over 500 yards this season. Of course, a big back to take down as well. But now on 3rd down and 10, Canton Seahawks spreading it out.
Yeah, spread out back in the shotgun formation. 3rd and 10, well into their own territory. Dogs are kind of up and up formation. Quick screen out to the left side this time. That is complete to number 11, Kane Wallner. He goes for, looks like about 3, maybe 4 before he's run out of bounds by the Watchdogs, and that's going to bring up a 4th and, well, we're a long 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, great job by the Watchdogs. Seeing that Kane Wallner, again, as I just mentioned, he's been out for the past couple of weeks after he picked up a hamstring injury. In fact, it almost looked like he just got shot during the middle of the game. He was running down Jeremy Crow on a 75-yard touchdown run. All of a sudden just stopped in the middle of the run. It was a hamstring injury. They said it was nothing serious. Able to get him back, but not able to pick up the first down. 4th down and 6 for the Canton Seahawks.
Yeah, Seahawks are in punt formation. They're going to punt off. It's going to go kind of high and a little to the right side. Shagrud is back. He looks content to let that just bounce out of bounds on about the Watchdog 26-yard line, and that's where they'll take over 1st and 10. We'll be back after this commercial break.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today, and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
All right, welcome back here. The Watchdogs on their first in town attempt, hand it off to Tadlock. He gets a gain of about, we'll call it 2, bring up 2nd and 8 for the Watchdogs.
Tad's been great all season long, carrying it for over 300 yards, 5 touchdowns for him. Good to see them going right away to him. Of course, they want to pound it inside. And this is what the first drive is, establishing what the Canton Seahawks are going to give you defensively. Again, only bringing down 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and always have to watch the cornerback safety blitz.
Tadlock under center. Van Otterloo under center. We referenced Tadlock's impact on the offense and carrying the ball, and that really started with that Lennox Orioles game,
where he kind of moved positions around because he started off the season at the offensive line, and they just decided to switch a couple things up as they got some guys back from who hadn't been playing football over the past couple of years, came back in as seniors, and that's where we talk about this is not the same Beresford Watchdogs team that we saw during week 2 and that 7-6 victory against the Canton Seahawks.
Exactly. So the Dogs will keep formation tight here. Van Otterloo will remain under center. Double wing, little motion here. Quick pitch out to, is that Bowden, I believe, working off of, it is Bowden working off of the left side. He's going to gain, looks like about 10 on that play, taking for a Watchdog first down.
And that's a great job of picking up the first down. In fact, coverage breaks down right away at the offensive line. I missed who that was, but someone went flying, just slipping on the ground. Canton, in fact, read that play nicely as well, knowing where the football was going to go, but just were not able to get there in time. Beresford picks up a great first down on 3rd down.
All right, fresh set of downs here for the Dogs. I mean, you thought maybe 3rd. Is this the point where he aired out a little bit? But Watchdogs kind of stayed true to who they are. There's Tadlock. He was picked up by, I believe that's number 14, Braxton Mulder. No, excuse me, that might have been, I think maybe it was Mulder.
A pickup of 2 yards. As you mentioned, the Watchdogs staying consistent to who they are. They don't want to get a little bit too far away from what they're doing as an offense and just continue to pound the rock, but so far successfully, it is working.
Van Otterloo again back under center, motion out of Friedrich. Quick pitch out to the right side, wide side of the field, couple blockers. Friedrich's a hard runner. It's going to go for a gain of about another 2 on that play. It'll bring up 3rd and maybe a long 3, short 4 for the Dogs.
First time we've seen Friedrich carry the football game tonight. As you mentioned, he followed his blocks, but it kind of got when they kept stretching out the Canton Seahawks. You're using that wide side of the field. You got to make 1 or 2 decisions. You got to keep on taking it to the outside, turning those legs, or you just have to follow the blocks up front. And if you run into your own guys, just push them forward, make it friendly fire.
All right, another 3rd and about 4 here. Let's see what offensive coaches Ronaldo and Lickness dialed up here on a key 3rd down near midfield. Quick hit, that is Tadlock, that's a first down.
And a great job by the offensive coordinators to make it the halfback dive up the middle, but a great fake as well by Otterloo. It kind of looked like it might have been going to Jackson, but instead just able to pound it right up the middle for a nice 5 yards.
This has to be following the script that the Beresford coaches wanted to see. 3 downs and a first down, 3 downs and a first down. Let's chew some clock. And let's keep moving the ball.
And they call it the old adage of nickel and diming them, but it's more like a penny and a nickel right now. But as you mentioned, it's working perfectly for the Watchdogs.
All right, Van Otterloo back under center. Quick dive to Tadlock. He is wrapped up by the ankles. I want to try to get a see. There's 24, I believe, on the tackle, and that's going to be Avery Herding, one of the captains for the Seahawks.
Avery's been a phenomenal defensive player, 2-year starter as well for the Canton Seahawks. But as you mentioned, not kind of what you want to go on first down. You always want to be picking up positive yards on 2nd down and 10. They're starting to move away now a little bit more from the football. Things are coming in a little bit slower. Yes, you know that Beresford likes to work the clock, but maybe not this much time.
No, working the clock here. Let's see what the back judge does. It was Tadlock running over, getting in the offensive play and bringing it back out. They are in that wildcat formation there. He is met by a host of Seahawks right at the line of scrimmage. Again, that was number 24, and the other one coming out of that pile is 44. So we referenced just a second ago Hertling. The other one coming out of there was number 44, Bo Williams.
Yeah, Bo Williams, just a phenomenal wrestler for the Canton Seahawks. The tough one that time for the Beresford Watchdogs is they got the initial push. You watch the lead blockers were actually able to get through the hole and get to the third level with those cornerbacks and safeties. But Tadlock not able to follow the space up there. It was quickly closed down for him, so now making it 3rd down and 8.
All right, Dogs back in this Wildcat formation. Right direct snap to Frederick. He's not going to get anywhere. That was number 24, Avery Hurting, and he has hurt us on this particular set of downs.
And that time he was just able to kind of get the hip of Frederick, not able to make a whole lot of movement up forward. In fact, lost a couple of yards, and now it's 4th down and 11. The Watchdogs, just kind of like we saw in week 2, it's back and forth early, just punting it back and forth between the two teams.
Yeah, opportunity to really flip the field here. Midfield, they're going to get it to Jake Goblish. Little high, but he's got the height and ability to go up and get it. He gets that punt off, and it is going to go out of bounds, what looks like near the Seahawk 22-yard line. We'll be back with more action right after this commercial.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
All right, welcome back to Cortland Carton Stadium. Seahawks with their second offensive drive. Quick dive up the middle. Goes for a loss of 1 before the Watchdogs nail him down there. But Heath, let's welcome the rest of our production crew. We've got Renee James here. Gavin Stewart just hopped in the booth. He's going to be helping on the production side for a little bit. We'll see if he switches to camera a little bit. And then we also have Easton Boom, part of our regular crew here. So we got the A-team out tonight.
Yeah, it's always great having the students come on up here and help out with live ticket TV. Gives them that learning experience unlike anything at the kind of that high school inside the classroom, really hands-on learning right here at Live Action.
All right, Seahawks go with another one of those kind of quick hits out to the wide receiver on the left side. Run out of bounds by the Seahawks. Gain of maybe a few. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for the Seahawks.
Yeah, able to hit Braden Oakland out there for about 3 yards or so. I really like what Canton is doing so far in the passing game. They're now 2 of 3 for 7 yards. It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but that's really the only thing they've had positive so far tonight.
Yeah, they're going to keep the Watchdogs honest at this point. A couple of those quick hitters. Pressure's coming. That was Bowden. He missed him, but the quarterback takes off, but he is wrapped up there. That's number 60, Landon Shirk. And the other one's Robert Watkins over there on that tackle.
Really, really lucky that time for the Beresford Watchdogs. If you can get to Merkel in the backfield, you need to make sure that's a surefire hit because he can use those legs with the elusiveness. But you have a feeling that a little bit maybe this rain is playing that factor, slipping a little bit, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and brings up a long 4th down.
All right, so no harm on that last punt from the Watchdogs. Again, the intent was flip the field. Seahawks are going to have to punt from their 25. Get a pretty decent punt here into the wind. It's going to be returned by Shagrud. Little bump out there on the edge, and we are going to get caught for a flag. One of those is really close. The head was kind of right on the edge of the defender, but 2 flags come flying, and the Watchdogs are going to go from what would have been really great field position just near or north of midfield. They're going to back this thing up, and Watchdogs are going to have to drive the ball a little ways to get a score.
Yeah, we see both Brad Coleman and Aaron Vanderberg both throw the penalty flags out there. They were all over that. And that's one that's really going to hurt because you get past the 50 for the Watchdogs, really set up in enemy territory. But it's going to bring that penalty that drives it all the way back. Now you have to try to grab that momentum back as well. And this one, of course, a quick moving, already 2:48 remaining in this first quarter. You liked what the Beresford Watchdogs did with that first drive. They didn't throw it once. I wonder if that might be coming a little bit of a wrinkle here in this second drive.
Yeah, we'll see. They've got just a little bit of breeze. It's kind of coming out of that southeast direction as we look at the big flags up at the corner of the Cortland Carton Stadium. Ben Otterloo back under center. Quick pitch. Ball is on the ground. Frederick was right there. He was chasing it down. I don't see any wild reaction out of the Seahawks. I'm assuming the Watchdogs must have gotten back on that one.
It's so crazy to see nowadays for me a running back that doesn't wear gloves, especially in this rain. The technology they make with football gloves nowadays is if they get wet, you spit on them. In fact, it makes it stickier, so it's kind of unusual to just go bare hands. You feel more confident in that, but once hands get wet, they are slippery.
Yeah, Frederick kind of all year, again, been a bit of a workhorse for the Dogs. Pretty sure-handed. They're going to give it right back to him, the senior. No fear with him carrying the ball, and he does bring it out to the 35-yard line before he is wrapped up. It looks like number 21 for the Seahawks, Tayton Oshheim on the tackle.
Nice job there by Peyton Frederick to follow his blocks. He even put his hand on the back of his lead blocker and said, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. Canton Seahawks eventually able to chase it down. But 3rd down and 8, you kind of wonder what the coordinators have drawn up in this 3rd down situation. You really want to pick up a 1st down here on this 2nd possession.
Yeah, Dogs are going to go tight end left, wing back on the right side, and a split out on the right. Little play action pass, little screen. He's got Tadlock over there, but pretty well covered actually by number 14, Braxton Mulder, and that made the pass a little more difficult, and the rush was coming.
Yeah, Van Otterloo, of course, not really known for his arm, but was able to find Tadlock down the field on that play action. You got to know the pressure's got to be coming. It just has to stand in there a second longer, plant the feet, able to do that. He's going to find Tadlock for a 1st down. Unfortunate, it's incomplete. Watchdogs have to punt it away.
All right, Dogs get a little better snap this time. Good punt. Going to work down the field. Lands pretty soft, but again, the intent, flip the field, pin the Seahawks within their 30-yard line. And let's get the offense back out here for the Seahawks and see exactly what they can do on their 3rd attempt with the ball.
Yeah, they haven't had a whole lot of success tonight. They'll see if they can't get something going here on this 3rd possession. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Eastway Auto Service. Every business claims to be the best at Eastway Auto Service. They'll let the work and loyal customers speak for themselves. You can find out more at eastwayautoservice.com.
Yeah, we appreciate Mitch and the crew out at Eastway jumping on live ticket with us here. 1:14 left in this opening quarter. Score is 0-0. Quick pitch out to the left side. Watchdogs get pretty good penetration on that defensive line. Seahawks go for a gain of 1.5, maybe 2 there.
Go to Cale Ask for the first time this night. Last time I watched Ask run the football, he ran for over 130 yards against the Vermilion Tanagers. He's, of course, the smallest back that the Canton Seahawks will use throughout the football game. They have McCracken and Bo Williams, who have also been extremely quiet. But again, you have to say, Canton Seahawks really haven't had the football much here in this 1st quarter.
No, 3rd possession, first couple of 3 and outs. Going to try it out to the wide receiver, but that's Svegan quick on the collapse. Could pick up a couple, but Svegan did his job out there.
Nice job, though, by Matt Anderson, knowing it was going to come. The wide receiver curl just coming right back to the football, able to pick up about 5 yards or so. His first reception of the evening. But this is by no means do or die time for the Canton Seahawks, but my goodness, you got to pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, now this sounds a lot like 9 weeks ago, though, doesn't it, Heath?
It certainly does.
We play between the 40 and the 40. Now tonight we're playing between the 30 and the 30.
It really seems like it's going that way, and we're going to hit triple zeros on the scoreboard.
All right, let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll come back with more action here at Beresford High School.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
All right, welcome back to Carton Stadium for this 11A playoff matchup. We did a lot of whistles there, Heath. Right, I think I heard something about a timeout.
Yep, a timeout there by the Canton Seahawks coming to start the second quarter, just not lined up in the correct offensive position. Hey, we want to give a big shout out. This has been something so great. We talk about Live Ticket TV teaming up, but something Canton and Beresford is doing as well. As just a medical emergency back on actually October 15th, landed Canton teacher and coach Jordan Hout in the hospital. Now, here at tonight's playoff game, they're showing their support and they're having a fundraiser that is going on. They're selling cotton candy tonight for $5 a bag, and then they're also selling raffle tickets to win chances at gift cards. But the greatest part about it all is all the money is going right back to Jordan and his family to help pay medical costs. Again, you see the Live Ticket TV family coming together, but then you have these two teams, of course, right up and down Interstate I-29 coming together for such a great fundraiser, such a great coach, and great teacher as well for the Canton Seahawks. Amazing to see.
Yeah, no, it's one of those deals where, you know, you create those relationships, and while Canton and Elk Point Jefferson and whoever, you know, are some of our big rivals.
Yep.
We are all still teammates.
Exactly. You step above. I mean, you battle on the gridiron, but when something like this comes together, it just shows how much you care and love and respect one another. Just a great fundraiser.
All right, so we're wishing him the best on his recovery, and again, we appreciate everything both staffs did together in both communities tonight to help him out. Seahawks do pick up that first down. Handoff off the left side, initially wrapped up by number 65, Cohen Shirk.
And they go to McCracken. McCracken gets his second crack of the football tonight and still has yet to pick up a positive yard. Going back to that 3rd down and 5, they went to Kale Ask. And again, I talked about kind of his smaller statue, and he was able just to kind of duck underneath his blocks. Beresford knew that he was somewhere in a pile, but able to break free and pick up a nice 7 yards when all he needed was 5 yards on that 3rd down.
Yeah, and Cohen Shirk, nice job as a sophomore, comes in to play a little bit defensive line, working that nose tackle position. So nice job of scraping down the line by the sophomore and picking up that initial contact. Tons of pressure again brought by the Watchdogs. That was Robert Watkins, and I missed the other one that was chasing him down. But coming out of that pile is Aaron Larson and a host of other dogs. So big 3rd down there, 2nd down.
Trying the reverse. They went in tight. They wanted to get the reverse over to Avery Hurting. And as you mentioned, the Bulldogs, they seemed fake for just a moment, but were able to get back into position and laid a big lick. And now a big 3rd down and long upcoming for the Canton Seahawks.
Now, Heath, you are part of the Live Ticket family, but I mean, if you keep calling us the Bulldogs, you will get kicked out of this booth.
I'm sorry.
Nah, we're messing with you. It's a common mistake here. We are the one and only Watchdogs, but we do get called the Bulldogs once in a while, but we'll let it slip this time. Working off that right side, Seahawks find a little open space, but Robert Watkins with the tackle. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 7 from the Seahawk 45-yard line.
Yeah, another little pass, but so far the Seahawks have never been able to pick up more than 5 yards in the passing game, and they really haven't looked deep so far either. It's been constantly the wide receiver screens or just kind of the quick curl routes, but again, haven't really been able to find space up the field.
That last first down, that was Canton's first down of the night, correct?
That is correct.
Pressure came. It might have been tipped. It was grabbed by, that's Goblish, one of our better receivers. He was covering one of the men running downfield, saw or heard the tick, turn around and grab that at the Watchdog 43-yard line. That's going to be great field position to get started here.
Could have been very, very dangerous for both teams. As you mentioned, a partial block that was able to kind of get cleared of the line of scrimmage, but then Goldbush knew he was in a bad situation. Of course, if that touches you, even if it just hits your leg, it's a live ball. He goes up and catches it, but gets drilled immediately. Nice job by Jake to hold on to it.
9-10 left here in the second quarter. Beresford 0, Canton 0. Watchdogs 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Van Otterloo under center, play action pass. Pressure's coming. He throws it. He's got a wide open receiver. Wide open is number 5 for the Watchdogs. That thing goes 62 yards. Watchdogs on the board.
Jack Stennon with his just 7th reception of the season and just his 2nd receiving touchdown. Great job by Van Otterloo as well. Again, as it referenced, last possession, he stood in the pocket, set his feet, and then found Jack wide open down the field. Huge touchdown for the Watchdogs.
So Watchdogs pound the ball, pound the ball, pound the ball. We do a little play action with a little rollout out of the backfield, and this time they look to the wide receiver on a huge play action pass. Van Otterloo's point after attempt is no good, so Beresford 6, Canton 0 with 8:59 left in the second quarter. We'll be back right after this commercial break.
The place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Well, there's nothing more colder than the winter season. Whether it's needing your winter supplies or getting ready for summer projects, you can find it all at Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Yeah, we appreciate the Olsons down at Ace Hardware, one of the first companies in town to kind of jump on with us here at Live Ticket. Svegan with a nice kickoff here after that touchdown by the Watchdogs. They're going to pin the Seahawks, kind of ironically, at about the 25-yard line. And let's see again what the defense can do here for the Dogs.
Only one first down so far for the Canton Seahawks tonight. They've looked, of course, to the pass. They've gone to the run, but none has really been consistent. The question is, can the Seahawks finally find some consistency in the passing game downfield?
All right, Seahawks with a dive right off tackle, brought down by a host of Dogs there. We'll kind of see who comes out of the bottom. Robert Watkins, Bowden, and Tadlock kind of coming out of the bottom of that.
McCracken on the carry once again. He's been phenomenal, rushing for over 500 yards throughout the regular season. 3 carries for just a yard so far tonight. He has really been shut down. Of course, he is, again, the little bit, not the power back. It really look the fullback, Bo Williams, for that. But McCracken, really with the size, just hasn't been able to get going. And great gang tackling by the Watchdogs.
So Seahawks, 2nd and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Get a little breathing room here. Get a gain of what looks like about 5 yards. So bring up 3rd and 5 for the Seahawks.
Cale Ask has really been the only spark that the Canton Seahawks have had. 3 carries for 14 yards for him so far this evening. Again, just his elusiveness with the size is what's able really to find him up the hole. If I was the Canton Seahawks, every first down and 10, that is the man I'd be looking at.
All right, so Seahawks back. Oh, we're going to get a little timeout here. Timeout, Watchdogs. Coach Ebert wants to take a quick timeout, so we'll do a quick commercial break. We'll come back with more.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
All right, welcome back to Beresford High School. Great matchup here between the visiting Canton Seahawks, the number 6 seed coming into this 11A playoffs, taking on the home team, the Beresford Watchdogs, the number 3 seed. And currently the Watchdogs out to a 6-0 lead. Heath, you were on the other night with me doing a volleyball game. Just happened to be the Tanagers versus the Watchdogs. Great opportunity to pair up. Our new listeners tonight, maybe just give them a quick intro to who is Heath Nimke.
Yeah, I got my chance to, of course, cover the Vermilion Tanagers and all their athletics, everything from soccer, basketball, of course, getting ready for baseball as well, but have been following the Vermilion Tanagers for the past 5 years. And when it comes to live ticket, everyone joining on here in the area, it gives me that opportunity to go help out other broadcasts as well.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us tonight, Heath, and helping us out with this broadcast. That pass was to Braden Oakland. Pretty big play there for the Seahawks to get themselves another first down and kind of get the ball moving here early.
Again, it really has been that spark. In fact, it's Oakland's second reception here on the evening for over 14 yards. Again, that was really their first time really looking downfield as well. Now, Josh Merkley's just trying to bounce around. My goodness.
Yeah, he was trying to look and duck and dodge in any hole he could find, and Watchdogs stayed true to themselves on that defensive line and just weren't given an inch.
This is really, when you look at playoffs, how do you match up against other teams? And in Classy 11A, a quarterback is really that separation that separates great teams from state champion teams. Merkel is a 4-year starter. He's phenomenal at what he can do. But we just saw the Watchdogs defense allow him nothing, just staying in his own pocket. This is what makes the Watchdogs defense so exciting to watch.
All right, Seahawks going to spread things out a little bit. Oh, we've got a snap. Gets away from the quarterback. The pressure's coming. That's Seth James and Tatno and Shirk with the pressure, but ultimately he's brought down by the rush. Nothing he could do after the ball got by him.
Yeah, that was the Wildcat formation that time. They had Cale Ask in there at the quarterback position and just slips right through his hands. A big loss of 15 yards, and it seemed like maybe a little bit of momentum for the Canton Seahawks just dissipated.
Yeah, so now we're 3rd and 25 here for the Seahawks. What's in the playbook? What is Coach Rich Lundstrom looking to do at this point?
You have to throw the football, which is kind of scary to say because that seems very obvious for the Beresford Watchdogs. I mean, you can't play kind of field possession right now. You need to find something offensively.
All right, Watchdogs have been making some defensive substitutions. We just haven't seen that throughout the season where they're substituting linemen and defensive backs, bringing in different packages. That's just not what we've really seen out of the Dogs. But tonight, we're seeing 3 guys on, 3 off, 2 on, 2 off, and they're really mixing up their defensive packages.
Keeping things fresh, and that is what Coach Ebert really wanted to bring to this game tonight. He wanted to make sure that when Canton brought certain packages onto the field, they matched those certain packages. That's why we're seeing those constant substitutions. And right now, what a great call there by Coach Ebert to make sure that's happening.
All right, so Watchdogs in a position here. They do have 1 deep back. Pretty good punt there for the Seahawks. Shagrud's chasing it down. It does. Oh, what a great bounce for the Seahawks. Shagrud will pick it up at the 12. He's going to work up the right side, and he's brought down by number 36, Cale Ask.
Well, for the Watchdogs, we saw one play on the last possession, went for 62 yards, a big touchdown. If I was Coach Ebert, I would try it again. Maybe not the same exact play, but play action. See how Canton Seahawks continue to react to the play action. And if you find some more success, start going to a little bit more often because they're just getting so used to you running the football.
Yeah, that 62-yard pass play, Van Otterloo to Jack Stennon. wide open. You just one of those, the ball just hung in the air. You went, please just catch that ball. You're so wide open, and it's just too easy to start running before you have the ball. But Stennon did a great job to bring it in and then finish it. And let's see what the Watchdogs dial up. Again, you talked to Coach Ebert a little bit earlier today. You did ask him about getting Coach Lickness on staff. He was gone for a couple years up in Hamlin, now back again, and working with Coach Ronaldo on these offensive play calls.
Yeah, it was good to just kind of hear the funny story, how it was a perfect storm that Arlen Lickness was kind of looking to move back to Yankton. He was kind of getting away from where he was at Howard. And I asked Coach Ebert, and I was like, well, how did it all happen? He's like, well, I just asked. And he said, yeah, why not? Come back again. And he's really fit right into this Watchdogs, of course, when he was here back in 2018-19 as well.
Yeah, he really just tracks the kids, and we referenced this a couple of weeks ago on the broadcast when we had Alex DeVries on. And being a really young coach and what it was like seeing Coach Lickness come in, his ability to relate with other coaches, kids that are 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. And, I talked about seeing him at graduation parties months after, the football season had ended, and the kid just V-line straight over to him. And he certainly made an impact here in the Watchdog coaching staff and the football program.
And, of course, that tradition of winning when he was just basically any program it seems like he goes to, he has just a touch that the team is going to find a way to win.
Look at Van Otterloo with his legs here. Option left. He's got a couple pitch options. He just tucks it in and goes for about 15, 16 yards.
Yeah, this is really the first time that it is the first time that we've seen Van Otterloo carry the football tonight. And as you mentioned, the option is he just kind of kept it out there. And the nice part there was he still had Tadlock if he wanted to pitch it, still about 7 yards into that run. Eventually just keeping it himself, using the feet. Nice pickup, and really digging themselves out of the back of their shadow of their own end zone.
All right, we're at the 4-minute mark of the second quarter. Beresford 6, Canton 0. Motion there out of Frederick. Van Otterloo, little rollout, finds Stennon again. B-move. But he is wrapped up there by, I believe it looks like number 5 for the Seahawks. Matt Anderson, I believe, was on the tackle.
Did you just say B-move? Would that indicate that you're an Xbox man?
No, I only know the B-move, but I was not a big gamer back in the day. But, the old B move.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not an Xbox guy myself, so it might not even be the button B there.
Our two guys in the booth could probably help us out. I'm getting a thumbs up from Easton Boom. He is telling me, yes, the spin move is the B button.
Okay.
So, that's what it was. And I honestly don't even know if it was Xbox or PlayStation, or maybe they're all the same. I'm getting a look from him. He's like, Jared, you're an idiot.
Hey, I agree with you. I'm not really one to play video games either. But back into action here. Tadlock right up the middle. Able to pick up a nice 5 yards. And right now the Beresford Watchdogs have something going as well. You do start to peek at the clock, though, a little bit. The way they run their offense to make sure they're still staying on track and on schedule here.
Yeah, 1st and 10 from their own 42. Clock is ticking. 2:40 left on the clock. Van Otterloo under center. Play action pass coming. He's got a receiver Stennon wide open. He's going to go the distance again. Unbelievable. Van Otterloo to Stennon. This play goes for 57 yards.
I feel like we just saw this. Exact same play. I mentioned play action is working. That time, though, we saw slip in there was Keyshawn Smith for the Canton Seahawks. And just the play action, the way it's working right now, I'd keep going to it. Big touchdown for the Beresford Watchdogs.
Yeah, it seems to be working. The Seahawks are biting a little bit, and Van Otterloo's doing a really nice job of sticking that ball on his left hip and taking his free hand and really making it look like he's handing the ball off with some misdirection.
114 yards already. I don't know if you had him over or under, but my goodness, if anyone had him out there on the bingo card for over 100 yards, that would certainly is a shocker.
Watchdogs going for 2. Got a power formation. That's Frederick. He dives over. He's still powering through. No good is the signal on the near side. So Watchdogs trying to get that 2-point conversion. Do not convert. But they're up 12-0 with 2:28 left in the second quarter. Feeling really good for Watchdog Nation.
Feeling great if you're the Watchdogs. Yeah, it's happened by 2 big plays. Canton Seahawks are saying that right now. Okay, you've had 2 great plays on play action that have worked. That's the only points. But the thing is, you flip the coin around, 24 yards of total offense right now for the Canton Seahawks. The running game has been shut down. 26 yards in the passing game. So that's indicating to the running game has yet to get a positive yard. Yeah, a bad play does count against that, but if you're the Canton Seahawks, you need to find something, and you do need to find it before halftime. Right now, the Watchdogs have all the momentum.
2:28 left on the clock. If you're Coach Ebert, are you starting to get your defensive linemen pinning their ears back?
I would. I'd keep it coming. Try to get the football back. Yes, Canton's going to be expecting to throw a little bit more, but if you can really make something happen in this last 2.5 minutes, that could be the knockout punch.
Yeah, I look here, if we can start releasing those defensive linemen a little bit, knowing that the Seahawks may have to try to air it out here to try to get something on the board with 2:28 left, and the Watchdogs will have the ball to start the third quarter. Another good kick is going to be fielded at the 25-yard line for the Seahawks. Going to bring it out beyond the 35. Nice return there for the Seahawks. That's number 5, Matt Anderson. He brings it out to the 38-yard line.
And I apologize. That was Matt Anderson on the last touchdown there. That was the one who slipped. Got my 5 and 6 with the grass stain there on the back. Kind of a little confused. But Matt Anderson, who's just been so trusty as a wide receiver and defensive back for the past couple of years for the Canton Seahawks, he'll look to bounce back. Of course, he needs to. He's one of the key wide receivers they look to for offense.
All right, Seahawks, 2:23 on the clock. They're on their own 38-yard line. They got to go here and get a little bit of yardage, try and get some points on the board. They are going to wheel it out into open space, and that is
Cale Ask, who slipped.
Okay, Cale Ask slipped, but he was in the eyes of Tadlock out there and trying to cut, and just the field is starting to give away a little bit in the middle. You can see it right at that 40-yard line. The field is starting to get tore up a little bit.
Yeah, Ask went to go make his cutback, and of course, when this is high school football, when that knee goes down to the ground, the play is automatically over. He really didn't have a defender that was there to touch him like you see in the NFL. Again, his knee just hit the ground, and that was the end of the play.
2nd and 15 here for the Seahawks from their own 33-yard line. Going to throw it out to the right sideline and slipped again, but does get a gain of about 6 on that play.
You talk about slipping guys, and we've seen this rain that has actually kind of subsided for the most part. It's not coming down as heavy as we saw when we were here during pregame and even at the beginning, but it is still a light sprinkle out there. And, of course, this field is not going to dry off anytime soon.
No, it is a little better. Again, we've got great fans showed up tonight. The stands are, I'm not going to say packed full, but they're fairly full. Heath, I saw a fan here at 2:30 this afternoon getting his spot staked out.
That is absolutely crazy. That shows you the die-hardness. And this one back in action here, a completion to Derek Teason. Teason's able to pick up a nice 7 yards, but he is a yard short on 4th down and 1. This is a scary spot for the Canton Seahawks because if you don't get it, you know what, with 1:14, we're going to see the Watchdogs call a timeout. I like this by the Watchdogs. If I was the Canton Seahawks with 1:14, I would tell Beresford, give me your best shot. I'm going for this.
Yeah, 4th and 1 here from very near midfield. You're right, 1:11 on the clock. Kind of feel like they maybe have to do something. The defense can maybe hold here with a little bit of time. And Coach Ebert's going to take a timeout. Heath, I will tell you a little bit, that fan that I did see earlier today coming in 2 weeks ago was the same fan that was here an hour before the game kicked off. It was cold. It was windy. I said, are you here for the night? He says, I'm here till the end. And I can see him down in front of me now, and that is retired Superintendent Cortland Carnes. Roger Krause is our number 1 fan. Cortland Carnes may be number 2, and you've heard me reference it. It's Cortland Carnes Stadium. Cortland's been a long-time backer of the Watchdogs, and he was really an advocate along with a number of school board members back in the 70s to really see what is Cortland Carnes Stadium and the field that we have here right outside the high school, and just a great complex and facility that we have to play on here. And it's all due to Cortland and the work that he and that board did back then. But 22 years as superintendent, 50 years as a track and field starter. Big 4th down here. We'll break for that play. We'll come back and talk about Cortland quickly again. It's a keeper. He's got the first down, so Seahawks find a way to get the first down.
Yeah, Merkel just on the quarterback sneak, picks up 2 yards. All he needed was 1.
So Cortland, 22 years as superintendent, fortunate to get the gymnasium we play in today passed, addition, the stadium here built, and obviously you've seen some improvements as you walked in through the main gates and the courtyard and where the tailgate was going on and the picnic shelter and the restrooms and concessions. Those are all improvements over, but we're still here at the original Cortland Karn Stadium. It's a great place to watch a game.
Wow, that is just amazing. It seems like so often anymore that you don't play at older facilities. It seems like those facilities are going away more and more all the time, being updated, or at least it doesn't have that feel of the old way it used to be. But I'll be honest with you, I can't remember when last I went to a high school football stadium and it was still brick bleachers that were kind of built into this to walk up to here. Definitely has that kind of old feeling, and it really brings you back, and just a great feeling to have.
Yeah, a lot of history and tradition here in Beresford. I mean, my back screen on my iPad I'm showing you here is a picture from the early 80s. It's a kind of a foggy scene, the same bleachers, the same crow's nest, and the people up there with the cameras. I mean, that is just kind of an iconic Beresford football image, and again, we're fortunate to those visionaries back from the 70s to have the facility we have here today. Okay, great coverage there out on the left side. The cornerback, that's Svegan again. He's collapsed on a couple of those plays out there in his cornerback position.
Yeah, Matt Anderson makes a great catch out there for the Canton Seahawks as well. He takes a big shot immediately right there at the legs, but able to haul it in for a 6-yard and make it a manageable second down. But another quick timeout called by the Canton Seahawks.
All right, I've been fortunate to be around a while, Heath, and I'm not surprised looking to the far side. That is Coach Lundstrom, I believe, in his patented shorts. Is that what I'm seeing over there possibly?
Oh, yeah. And he's never going to wear pants. I don't believe. Usually he's wearing, it seems like, short sleeves out there as well. I mean, he's just an amazing coach. What he's built, as we talked earlier, with the tradition with the Canton Seahawks. Great to see what he has built with that program with Canton.
Yeah, he's been around quite a while over there and really been a stable force there for the Seahawks. He's collected a nice collection of assistant coaches around him. And, we're fortunate in Beresford to see what Coach Ebert has done here as well. Again, he's been here a while, collected a collection of people around him, surrounded himself with good people, and good things are happening. The kids are buying into it.
That's exactly what you need if you want to build a tradition like the Canton Seahawks.
2nd and 5 in Watchdog territory. That's Seth James put a little pressure on. Great job by the offensive line, buying time.
And once again, just Merkel able to move around, keep the play alive. Great defensive coverage by the Canton Seahawks downfield. Usually when a quarterback is able to run around that much, eventually he's going to find somebody open. But the Watchdogs stay strong there.
All right, Watchdogs are rushing 3. They've got 2 linebackers kind of spying right there, but they've got 6 defensive backs out there.
And again, it all comes down to matching what the Canton Seahawks are giving them on offense as they continue to spread it out.
All right, 3rd and 5 from the Watchdog 46-yard line. Merkel back in the shotgun. Plenty of time. There's a sliver of an opening, and he finds his receiver. Is that Ask? Number 27.
No, that is Braden Oakland who makes the catch for the Canton Seahawks, and they quickly get back to the line of scrimmage as well.
All right, Oakland, a 5'11 senior for the Seahawks. Big play there. Stennon was right on his hip.
And it goes back to what I just said, though. When you give Merkel that much time in the pocket, he is going to eventually find somebody open no matter how close you are to your wide receiver. Nice job by Merkel finding it just in that small window of space and picking up a very nice first down. And with 30 seconds still remaining here in this first half, the Canton Seahawks have the most life they've had in this football game.
Yeah, back in the gun. Dogs are rushing 3, dropping plenty of coverage. Again, we'll call it more of a prevent defense here, just looking to contain and not give up anything big or deep. But they've moved the ball in that formation. So, again, maybe the coaching staff for the Dogs is willing to give up some of these bites but not give up the whole enchilada. And now we're 25 yards away here from the Seahawks, trying to put a little life into this thing before half.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. And on the opposite side for the Watchdogs, that might be kind of the discussion right now, is we might want to start bringing a 4. Get somebody into the backfield. Don't allow Merkel so much time. They are resetting the clock here at the moment as well. I think they want to put up 38 back onto the clock instead of 30 is what they want to do.
Yeah, so they are utilizing the headsets from the coaches. They relayed up to the coaches next to us. They walked through our booth and into the booth next door to the clock operator and said, put up 38 seconds. It's just a little bit of a technical difficulty. If they would put 38 and push start, or 39 and push start and stop quick, it's going to display correctly up there. It looks like it's 3.8 on the clock. There's really 38 seconds, but it's hard for the officials to see that. Now they got 38.0 on the clock. So.
There we go. And good for the Canton Seahawks as well. Get an extra 8 seconds back on that clock.
All right, second. Is it first and 10 or second and 10?
Second 10, you missed a spike by Merkel.
Okay.
I don't think this play is going to count.
Yeah, the far judge is coming in, waving his arms.
So you got Kevin Kroll, the line judge there, who came in. I mean, the play was underway, and he was blowing his whistle. And it seems like yet the officials still aren't on the same page right now at the moment, is what it seems like, because I don't think I saw a penalty flag.
Yeah, I don't see a flag on the far side of the field. Coaching staff is yelling something. We're throwing a fresh ball in here, but no indication.
Oh, we started the clock early, is what we're saying?
Okay, we are kind of catching word that maybe the clock started. It shouldn't have. Should have just been the play clocks. Yeah, so that is what happened. So the clock operator did start it on the whistle, but it was not a crank of the arm.
And it goes back to, I think the clock operator also thought, coming like you, was first down and 10, missed that spike, missed the stoppage of play. And again, just got to watch, of course, the head referee tonight, Dale Buchelman, when he'll indicate it. And it's second down because that last play doesn't count.
Yeah, a lot of fans in front of us yelling third down, third down. This is a great defensive play, but double coverage, and the Seahawks come out of that. Can you catch a number in that far side there?
That's Anderson once again they go to, as I mentioned, who's been giving up the big coverage. They go right back to Anderson and makes a huge play for his team.
All right, first and down for the Seahawks from their own 8-yard line. They spike the ball again. Again, those fans watching at home, those standing right in front of us, just don't know what's happening out there on the field.
As to say, and you can kind of understand everyone's frustration when you're not quite for sure exactly what's going on. Of course, we have that little bit of an advantage of hearing everything that is going on up here. But, yeah, big first down there for the Canton Seahawks to get inside the red zone and get it first and goal. Now second and goal after the spike ball.
Okay, Merkel back in the gun. Seahawks are spread out. He's looking left the whole time, and he's got a receiver open. Just goes right through his hands. Looks like number 11 over there for the Seahawks, and that is Kane Wallner, I believe.
So now on third down and goal, the playbook is still open for the Canton Seahawks. In fact, what you're trying to think as an offensive coordinator right now is, if you want to take your time on this third down, make sure you have a fourth down plan ready. But for the Canton Seahawks, ultimately, they do need to score here on this drive.
Dogs bring in 2 defensive backs, bring out a linebacker and a defensive lineman. Pump fake, back, wide out of bounds. Incomplete pass on that far corner is the signal. 22.5 seconds left on the clock. This will bring up a huge 4th and goal from the 8-yard line.
Merkel had a set play. He knew what he needed to do, but the defensive coverage was great that he had to make the pump fake. And after that, he wasn't necessarily paying attention to the pocket. He felt the pressure was on. And I'm really surprised here right now, but the Canton Seahawks, I guess on fourth down, it does make sense. I take that back. It does make sense. Let's talk it over. They're going to use their last timeout, see what they can draw up on fourth down and goal. But as we mentioned, they need the points here.
Heath, let's hit a quick commercial break. We'll be right back for this huge 4th and goal.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
All right, welcome back here. Beresford High School, Cortland Carnes Stadium. Beresford 12, Canton 0, 22 and a half seconds before halftime. And the Seahawks have a huge 4th and goal opportunity here, fresh out of a timeout.
And they're stacking wide receivers over to the near side. Let's see what they decide to draw up.
4 receivers on the left side, going right. Huge defensive hit. Oh, it is in for a touchdown, though. The defensive back was late getting there.
Nice job there by the Canton Seahawks in drawing that up. Offensively, they bring the wide receiver, stack them to the near side. Ultimately, it was a distraction the entire way. They wanted to go to Matt Anderson. That was the only thing they had drawn up, and it works out big for the Canton Seahawks to get a touchdown right before halftime.
Yeah, Matt Anderson, 6 feet 6 inches tall, 185 pounds. He's only a junior, but a great weapon over there on that right side in that formation.
And really just saw the passing game get going for the Canton Seahawks. We'll see if they don't try to take advantage of that more in the second half.
So a quick pass to the left side. Nobody's on the receiver out there, and that's number 11, Kane Wallner, for the 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, we've got a ball game.
12-8. We wondered how this last 2 minutes would go. And it was a huge drive for the Canton Seahawks. If they want to still stick around in this game in the second half, they proved their point. They're ready for a dogfight throughout the rest of the second half.
Yeah, I mean, you're watching Watchdogs on liveticket.tv. You're going to get a little bit of a Watchdog slant here, obviously, if you're tuning in. So we're pulling for the Dogs. We're feeling pretty good at 12-0. Opportunity to go in up or maybe even get the ball back here. We knew we were going to get the ball to start the third quarter. But now it feels just a little different.
It certainly does feel different. Like I mentioned before that drive for the Canton Seahawks, the mojo was nothing but the Watchdogs. And that was kind of the adage. If you can make a quick stop, and you have to remember it was on that drive several different times. They faced third down in what seemed like long for them, but they were able to pick up big first downs. But I think that also exploited parts of the defense, that if you can give Merkel time, then he has the arm and capability of really finding his players downfield. Watch for that in the second half.
Yeah, you can't blame the defensive coaching staff of the Watchdogs to go into a prevent defense, 6 defensive backs, and we just give up the pressure on the quarterback. I believe in the third and fourth quarters, we're not going to see that formation defensively. Yeah. It was just a down and distance, time on the clock. We're almost to half. You know, that's defensive formation makes sense for that, but in a traditional third quarter defense, we're not going to see 6 defensive backs out
Exactly. You're not going to rush 3. You're going to pin the ears back. You're going to come after them, not give Merkel so much time. I mean, there was, 2 or 3 different times Merkel had it seem like 7 seconds to throw the football. As I mentioned, as a safety, as a defensive back, that's really hard to cover your man for that long. You won't be seeing that when it comes to the defensive line in the second half.
All right, so a little kind of pooch or squib kick here out of the Seahawks. Again, they don't want to get the ball in the air and give anybody a chance to get some misdirection or a head of steam going here. They're going
to make them re-kick it.
They're going to re-kick it. Okay.
It is a rare call that you see. Usually they just go, yep, take it up to about wherever it went out. And with 10 seconds, that's all right, sounds good. We're just going to take a knee here, and we're into halftime, and we'll come out to fight in the second half. But Coach Eber's like, no, we're not. You're going to kick that thing again.
All right, so the Seahawks will back this thing up to the 35-yard line. Kicking off for the Seahawks, is that number 58? I believe it's Dallas King, possibly.
Yes. See, they decided to go with the little pooch kick again.
Pretty good squib action on that one. It is fielded. Going to fake the reverse. Going to keep it in Valder's hands. Little room and open space. He's going to work that right side, but he's brought out of bounds. He's tackled there by number 5. That was Matt Anderson. We've got 10.8 seconds left on the clock.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't that just the time on the clock on the kickoff there?
I think it was 18.
Was it 18?
Point something? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was looking at the clock here in the booth, so it just looked like it was a 10 to me. Okay. Well, ultimately, by the way, the squib kick, I mean, you could have just taken the penalty.
Yeah. Kind of ended up in the same spot.
You could have saved 8 seconds there.
All right, we'll see what the Watchdogs do. They do have Van Otterloo under center. They've got Stenen split out to the... No, he is not split out to the right. I thought he was split out to the right. Going to do a little kind of optioner pitch over to Frederick. He's going to step out of bounds with 6.9 seconds on the clock. He was not running that in his traditional Peyton Frederick fashion. I mean, I think the intent was let's burn a little time and not necessarily take a knee, but...
I'm not for sure. Maybe even if he wasn't looking to have a chance at throwing the football downfield, catch them off. I don't know if Frederick can throw the football.
I was kind of looking into the backfield. I wasn't looking downfield. That one's going to go into Tadlock's arms. He's got both arms wrapped around it pretty securely. Met by a number of Seahawks, and that's going to take us to halftime. So Beresford 12, Canton 8. 2 quarters of play, 4-point difference. Seahawks really struggled to get something going, but did all of a sudden kind of with a minute and a half, 2 minutes on the clock, really started slinging it around and found a little success there.
Yeah, they won, as mentioned, stay in this game. They needed to find some momentum on that last drive. They were really able to do so. And what's really interesting as we go into halftime, it's been more of the passing game that's been the talking point than it has been the running game.
Yeah, both for the Watchdogs and the Seahawks. So Watchdogs able to move the ball a little bit. You know, they had a couple sustained drives, and then they had a couple of 3-and-outs. But really the life or the spark came by those 2 big pass plays. Van Otterloo to Stenen for 62, 63 yards. And then Van Otterloo to Stenen again for 52 or 3 yards, whatever those numbers were. It was north of 100 yards. And then for the Seahawks, again, kind of little out plays and then ultimately working that play into Anderson for the score.
Yeah, and you mentioned just, too, the play action both times. It gives Van Otterloo, he's just 3 of 4 in the passing game, but for over 114 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, just really in the running game, no one has been super explosive. I mean, Tate Van Otterloo and Tadlock right now are tied with 16 yards apiece. So something both teams have really... And then on the flip side, at the Canton Seahawks, there's only 2 guys that have positive rushing yards right now, and actually the leading rusher for Canton Seahawks is Josh Merkel with 2 yards. So, I mean, it's kind of crazy what we saw in that first half.
All right, pretty wild stuff. We do have recognition of our dance team, Heath. I told you last week you were heading out to Belle-Fourche. Our football team was heading to Lakota Tech. I stayed home, got a good night's sleep because I was driving the dance team up to Watertown last Friday night. And our dance team, again, being recognized out here. Great job by the dancers. This is our 2nd year in competitive dance. The ladies did a great job at the state tournament. 1st place in the hip-hop division.
Wow.
2nd place in the pom division. And then in kind of the grand champion or overall, 2nd place behind the powerhouse that is Dakota Valley Dance. So great job by the ladies in their 2nd year.
Yeah, what an amazing job in just their 2nd year. I mean, you talk about the competition when it comes to dance, and you made reference to Dakota Valley and what they're able to do. A great job by them. That's kind of exciting to see. Now, I have to ask the question because, of course, I can't say I follow the dance team a lot. Is it a younger team or an older team?
No, there's some veteran leadership on this squad, and they kind of got the ball really rolling last year and kind of went in and made some waves as a new squad or a new team on the block or whatever you want to call it. But they capitalized on that this year with some senior leadership, and those seniors will be missed on that dance squad.
Well, great to see them in that kind of performance as well. It seems so crazy. It seems like we just got the season started as well for all fall sports, and just like that, it's about to come to an end.
Yeah, we're wrapping up that fall season. State cross country is done. You have some state tennis, and did they do soccer down in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Vermilion got close in both. They had a great, phenomenal showing for girls tennis and soccer. Both lost in the semifinals. unfortunate for the boys. I think there's a lot of expectations for them to be playing for a championship game. That boys team graduated 3 seniors. They're going to be extremely talented coming up over the next few years. So
And then state golf, the Class A, the boys play in the fall, so you've kind of wrapped up that season. I know the Tanagers had a great season, and Watchdogs had 3 qualifiers, 1 medalist, so...
Yeah, that was extremely exciting as well for Vermilion. They have not brought home a state title when it comes to actually school sports since 2012. The golf team was finally able to put, in this decade, the number 22 up on the big board that's just outside, or as you're coming into Vermilion. That was really cool to see for them.
All right, Heath, we're going to take a little break here. There's 11 and a half minutes on the clock. We'll run a few commercials. We'll get a little break for ourselves. I'm assuming they'll put 3 minutes on the clock when we come back. We'll be back for more second half action here from Quarterfinal Stadium.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life, with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 57,000 participants here in South Dakota who take part in high school sports or activities.
In times times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent. In time,
Curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore Paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore Paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
in times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
We all want to be happy, but sometimes that doesn't feel possible. But if you have hope, you have everything. Rising Hope Counseling provides high-quality mental health services with locations across South Dakota. Additionally, by providing telehealth, we ensure South Dakota's rural residents have access to high-quality mental health services. Our team lives and works in your communities, and we understand the unique challenges we face. Schedule an appointment by phone or online today. Rising Hope Counseling, offering hope, healing, and change.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, you can be confident you're getting the best. You can buy in store or order what you need online for curbside pickup or delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace at participating stores.
Find Benjamin Moore paint and other great products at your locally owned Olson's Ace Hardware in Beresford.
Fiesta Foods in Beresford is a family-owned store that offers a convenient one-stop shop where you can find everything you need, from the everyday essentials to specialty items from around the world. Find their weekly ad on their website. Fiesta Foods also has the best selection of cut meats in their deli department, fresh bakery, and fresh produce. And no matter the season or holiday, Fiesta Foods has it all right there in store. Open 7 days a week. Fiesta Foods is your one-stop store right in the hometown of Beresford.
Customer service is more than just a word. It's what Jensen Insurance Agency and Auto Owners Insurance does every day.
We have more companies than most agencies in town. We're able to find a competitive market for each family. We're able to farm that out, quote it with each of our carriers, including Auto Owners Insurance, of course, and see where it best fits.
In Sioux Falls, Beresford, and Elk Point, go to jensenagencyonline.com to find out more. Jensen Insurance Agency, building relationships since 1944.
Daily specials, hot food, cold drinks, and a fun and inviting atmosphere. Where else to be at than at Burt's in Beresford? Whether it's rallying together to cheer on the Watchdogs from far or just ready to get a great meal at Burt's, they have you covered. Make sure you like them on Facebook and find their daily specials or give them a call today. Also want to say a big thank you to our sponsors of Kristen & Company and Chic Boutique in Centerville, now booking private shopping events. Treat Kristen's Closet like your own. Enjoy refreshments while shopping and relaxing with your gal pals. They would love to have you. You can message them today on Facebook. You can always text Kristen as well to set up your private shopping event, or you can stop by and shop anytime with all the Watchdogs gear they have at Kristen & Company and Chic Boutique. Well, let's get it back over to our voice of the Watchdogs, Mr. Gerald Olson.
Yeah, Heath, thanks. Welcome back here, fans tuning in on Watchdogs.live ticket. We're going to put 3 minutes back on the clock here, which is standard operating procedure. Watchdogs come back out of the locker room. Seahawks stay out here. It looks like the rain has really let up quite a bit. There's a little bit of haze in the air under the lights, but I don't see the moisture falling like it was, and we've lost the ponchos from the cheerleaders. We're going to get a pretty great second half here in terms of the weather.
Yeah, when it came to the national weather forecast or who you listen to the weather, I heard 5 o'clock, I heard 7 o'clock, I heard 10 o'clock tonight. But as you mentioned, it's really starting to let up and just it has that feel now, the official fall feel. I feel like we've been treated something special. I mean, when I went out to Belle-Fourche last week, we kicked off at 79 degrees. It was just like, what is going on right now? This isn't the normal, but this Thursday really has that feel of Friday night lights, late fall, just trying to win yourself a playoff football game.
Yeah, Heath, we are a little spoiled up here in the booth. Obviously, we were out of the moisture. We've got the windows open, but we're not catching much breeze. And, as I get a little older, I really enjoy the fall hunting season. Typically, tonight if I wasn't here, I might have been 20 feet up in a tree stand. But, I got the buddy heater. We got a little propane heater going behind us. Things are pretty good here, but we got a lot of action and heat out on the field as well.
Yeah, it's been a great first half. It seemed like the Watchdogs at one point were really going to pull away, leading it 12-0, getting 2 big touchdowns on play action, and just really dominating. I mean, it took until the third possession for the Canton Seahawks to pick up their first down, but when it came down to crunch time, the last 3 minutes of that first half, the Canton Seahawks able to put together a nice drive, really find their passing game. In fact, going back to that first half, Josh Merkel finishes the first half 10 of 19 in the passing game for 106 yards and 1 touchdown. But ultimately, what's so interesting is when you talk about sacks in there, you talk about a fumble in there as well, that all counts as negative yards. Right now, Kent has a big old fat 0. It's an exact 0 right now in the rushing yards category. Oh, that will be really interesting to see if they can't really get that going more, or if they don't just abandon it
and just go back to the really passing game that they did have success late in that first half with.
Yeah, we'll get kicked off here in the second half. Heath, really nothing too exciting within 11A as you were checking scores, but what's happened in 11B?
Yeah, right now, of course, everyone's probably paying attention to one big score. West Central leads it right now over Madison, 21-0 at halftime. Del Rapids is taking care of Lennox, 27-0 at half. And also Sioux Falls Christian right now, that slight upset, 5-4 if you really count it. 27-0 right now over Dakota Valley. That one also at halftime. One big upset. I mean, for some, I thought Hot Springs would win against Aberdeen Roncalli tonight. They do so as well. 28-0. Elk Point Jefferson rolls over Redfield, 42-0. Winner beats Dual, 32-8, and right now McCook Central Montrose leads it over Mount Vernon Plankinton 14-6. That one at halftime. Those scores all in Class 11B.
Yeah, great game there, 4-5 matchup with MVP and McCook Central Montrose. And you and I were talking off air. I had it kind of circled on my iPad, that Aberdeen Roncalli and Hot Springs game, and I'd already circled Roncalli forward and Elk Point Jefferson forward. I go, Heath, next week that is going to be an awesome matchup. And, we went into half, and you're kind of like, hey, Jared, take a look at this one. And, again, this is why we play the game. And if you're a Huskies fan, man, you got to get kind of excited. But yet at the same time, you've got to be a little nervous that a Hot Springs team just knocked off Aberdeen Roncalli.
They are one of the best defensive teams in the entire state of South Dakota, allowing teams to score an average of under 7 points a football game. Really have to watch that. I think it's going to be a defensive battle next week.
All right, so the Watchdogs, first possession, they
trying to get the run going a little bit.
Yeah, no, they stalled here for the second half, took the kickoff, and now on 1st and 10, handed off to Stennon, and he had a nice alley off that left side, goes for 8 yards. It'll be 2nd and 2 at the Watchdog 45-yard line.
Yeah, great pickup on first down, and the Watchdogs are going to get a little bit back on schedule as well. Again, we saw play action for 2 big touchdowns. They want to run the football. This is not play action, is not something, we'll probably see them do a little bit more, but not something they want to do.
Yeah, so Frederick off the right side, off a right tackle. Stakes are really close to each other, but yep, they are going to stop it now and bring it in for a measurement. Gain of a short 2, 1.5. We'll see how close it is, but they are going to put the chains out on the field for the first time.
And you don't often see this until late in halves. Usually refs will just make a judgment call, especially this early into the second half.
And it is just the nose of the ball, so you can see why they brought it out, I guess, at this point. And we're looking at just a touch of an angle. Our camera's more close down the line. Again, welcome to the crew here. We've got Easton Boom on the computer now. Gavin Stewart's working the camera. Renee James is helping with production. You're listening to Jared Olson and Heath Nimke on the call. Great first 2 plays there for the Watchdogs. Again, reestablishing the run.
Yeah, and they're able to already chew up a minute on just 2 plays as well. That will certainly play a factor, as that first half really took a while to get over with. But, I mean, the first... kind of you look back at 20 minutes or so, went by extremely quickly.
So we're doing a little option, or a little rollout to keeper on the left side. Great contain on that right side. I missed the defensive back. I think it might be number 21.
But nonetheless, it doesn't matter too much. Alex Jensen with the holding on the near side is going to move it back 10 yards. So it's going to bring up 2nd down and long for the Beresford Watchdogs.
All right, big penalty there for the Dogs. Again, they really just got something going. They're going to be 1st and 20-ish.
Yeah, about 1st down and 22. You got to remember, you take it from where the holding occurred, which was already in the backfield. So bring up 1st down and 22. Not what you want to get going on that 1st down after you pick up 1st down, just 2 plays there for the Watchdogs.
Interesting decision. Again, the Watchdogs deferred in that first half, took the ball in the second, which means the Seahawks got to pick the side of the field defensively. And there's a flag out of the backfield, defensive backfield.
And a false start moves it back another 5 yards. My goodness. I mean, we only saw 3 penalties as well in that first half, and now we've seen 2 back-to-back penalties, and we're not even 2 minutes into this third quarter.
What do you make of the Seahawks and head coach Rich Lundstrom? taking the wind in their face here in the third, knowing they'll get it at their back, mostly anyways in the fourth?
It's going to be interesting because I feel like the wind has picked up even more, and that is where you'll see in this third quarter them look to run the football a little bit more and try to be better at establishing that run. I really expect McCracken to get going for the Canton Seahawks in this third quarter.
All right, so Watchdogs get a little gain here. Look like Tadlock coming out of there. It's still second in a ton here on the Watchdog 35-yard line.
Yeah, you talk about the holding penalty, then the false start makes it second down, and 27 is what it's going to be. So just trying to really dig themselves out of a hole, and you can't go to the play action of where they found success at in that first half because the Canton Seahawks going to be expecting it.
Little crisscross in the backfield, get it to Sennin. He's got an opening. This is going to be a first down. Huge play out of the back, Jack Stennin.
Well, Jack has been the spark so far tonight. Again, he's the one with 2 receiving touchdowns. Again, he came in just having 2 receiving touchdowns throughout the regular season and now able to carry it for 29 yards and a huge first down for the Watchdogs.
Yeah, Jack's been a big player for the Dogs all year, but maybe not the face of the franchise, if you want to call him that. But he's been a key player for the Dogs all season long. A junior, listed at 6 foot, 170 pounds. And they give the ball to him again. He's going to go for 3 yards here. So 2 big pass plays from Stennin. Huge run there, and they had some great blocks sealing that thing off.
Yeah, Jack Stennin, as you mentioned, just 37 carries for 120 yards that he came into with tonight. And, I mean, he's gotten the ball so far for 33 yards. So he's already added a quarter of those numbers just coming into tonight. It's been nice to watch him. And as we mentioned earlier, the receiving game, he's just been huge.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, 2nd and 7 here for the Dogs. Quick handoff. That's going to be Tadlock. He is wrapped up by the Seahawks. Number 14, I believe. I think that's Braxton Mulder. Check that. That's number 44 that came out of the bottom of that pile. That's going to be Bo Williams, the senior.
Tadlock now 9 carries for 31 yards, but just put his head straight down, ran into the pile, and really keeps the offense on track, making it a very manageable 3rd down and 3.
3rd and 3. Van Otterloo under center, going to give it to Stennin again. A little bit of that misdirection. He's got room. He's down the sideline. Touchdown. There's the official call from the official at the goal line. Touchdown. Jack Stennin runs that thing in from, is that 41 yards?
41 yards. As you watch on Live Ticket TV, they go right into that corner where it gets a little tough to see it on the camera angle. But Jack now goes for the hat trick, 2 receiving touchdowns and now a rushing touchdown. What a perfect start for the Watchdogs.
Who would have ever thought? And great job to our crew here. Gavin over on the camera. That is a tough angle. The camera is sticking out the window a ways here in the booth. But to get that thing pointed over in the corner, great job, guys, to get the action. We're going to send Van Otterloo out here, and Watchdogs are up by 10. The score is 18-8. Watchdogs are going to try and make this a 12-point game.
It really doesn't matter, by the way, if you do kick the extra point or go for 2. No matter what, it does stay a 2-possession game.
Frederick in motion. Van Otterloo, option right. He tries to cut it back and loses footing. No good on that 2-point conversion.
Continue to be unsuccessful on those, but hold on to a 10-point lead. As I just mentioned, a 2-possession game. Watchdogs off to that right start.
So a little over 4-minute drive. They moved the ball from wherever we started at, but a huge set of penalties. Overcame that with a big running play from Stennin, and then ultimately another running play and a big alley off the left side. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more Watchdog football.
At Northern State University, your future starts with an affordable education that's personalized for you. Experience hands-on learning guided by world-class supportive faculty. You'll also enjoy a full campus life with opportunities to choose from numerous student activities and events, all in a safe, welcoming community. At Northern, you'll find a college that's right for you, a place to belong. Your future starts here. Unleash your potential at Northern.
In today's world, it's all about saving time. So why waste your money and time shopping through aisles that you can't find what you're looking for? Why not shop local? Shop Fiesta Foods for the holidays or just your everyday essentials. You can find it all at your local grocery store. That's Fiesta Foods. Mr. Olson, back over to you.
Svegen's kick goes through the leg of the Seahawk down to the 10-yard line. Dogs are collapsing. The ball looked like it maybe popped loose. I saw somebody diving in. Seahawks do retain possession, but they are going to start deep in their own territory.
Huge mistake for the Canton Seahawks. Not only do you give up the touchdown on the opening possession of this second half, but quickly a mistake. Luckily able to get back on top of it, but now you're just in the shadow of your own end zone. You don't have the running game that's been behind you. As I mentioned, Jared, I'm going to be really interested to see if they don't try to go back to more of this passing game to start this second half for the Canton Seahawks.
Yeah, and they're going to spread it out here. Far side the field on the short side. 2 receivers, 2 on the right. They are going to keep it on the ground and try to dive it up the middle. That Merkel does keep it. Gain of about 2 on the play. Short 2, bring up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, couldn't quite tell if that was Merkel in there or not. But his design quarterback sneak, spread it out, see what the defense was going to give you. A little bit just kind of that feel-out punch on 1st down and 10, pick up 2 yards, make it 2nd and 8.
All right, Merkel back in the gun. We've got 3 receivers to the right, 1 split out to the left. Pump, going to hand it off to, is that Ask in the backfield?
Yep.
It's going to get a short gain, but it's going to bring up a tough 3rd down here for the Seahawks from their own 20-yard line.
I think Ask gets a little bit more. He gets 6 yards because he kind of got tripped up but continued to fall forward there. So makes it a manageable 3rd down and 2. But if the Watchdogs can hold here, you're really looking to make a huge play right now.
Okay, Watchdogs are going to substitute a defensive lineman. That's Cohen Shirt coming in, and coming off is Jake Goblish, the defensive back. Two receivers left, 2 right. Quick pass in that open flat. They do find their open receiver. 1st down, brought out to the 40-yard line before he's wrangled down.
You kind of ask yourself, if you're Watchdogs coaching staff, what is it going to be on the defensive backs? Do you want to give Derek Teason that much space just to kind of catch it right there in the flat, or do you start cheaping up and start chipping a little bit more, as Derek Teason able to make it a nice 16-yard gain for the Watchdogs and a 1st down?
Yeah, Seahawks gain a 1st down there, bring it out to their own 37-yard line. Dogs were in pursuit over on that little flat out there, but just 2 steps away, and that's 2 steps too many. Pressure's coming this time. Merkel scrambling, receiver tries to cut back. Pressure was coming from Tadlock and from number 30, Peyton Frederick.
Again, you got to get to him. You got to bring him down, because if you do miss, that is the opportunity. He just overthrows his intended target that time, Matt Anderson, which Anderson was open because Van Otterloo on the coverage actually slipped there. So if that could have been completion, that could have been 6 points for the Seahawks. Just miss out on 1.
So Watchdogs avoid, a little bit of catastrophe there. 2nd and 10 from the Seahawk 37-yard line. Again, 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Dogs are bringing the blitz. That's Frederick coming with pressure. Shirk gets to him.
And it goes back to exactly what we were preaching as we went into halftime. We said this isn't going to be the same. Merkel isn't going to have all that time in the pocket, 5-6 seconds to look downfield. We saw the Watchdogs pin their ears back, come with a heavy blitz this time, and this time they make it count, bring up a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Frederick on the blitz. Shirt got to him, and the other one that wrapped him up is the junior Seth James. He's been a key player for the Dogs as a junior, getting in certain opportunities and making the most of them.
And so many Watchdog fans would say this is a very senior-led team, but when you see younger guys step up and make plays like that, huge.
Okay, loss of 4 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 14. More pressure, little bump.
Watchdogs get extremely lucky because they just did the complete opposite of what I just mentioned. They bring only 3 down linemen. I guess they didn't even go down into a stance. But there again, you see Merkel have so much time and Matt Anderson just not able to haul it in, but he was right there at the first down marker. If he completes that, it's a first down for the Canton Seahawks.
Yeah, he was a good yard or two beyond that first down marker, so that would have been a first down, move the chains. Instead, it's now 4th and I guess we'll call it 13, and they're back in punt formation. Dogs are back deep.
And the Watchdogs, this is a kind of a small victory turning into a huge victory, able to take the opening possession of this second half for a score. And the Canton Seahawks able to get a little bit of life, kind of moving the football there, but able to stop them on a huge 3rd down and 13. And now you get the football with 5:08 here in this third quarter. This is what it comes down to. If you're a Canton Seahawks fan, you need to make it a 3-and-out because you cannot let them get in rhythm of running the football. We saw it, 2 plays. It took over a minute just to start this second half.
Yeah, started a minute in that second half. Ultimately, that drive did last a little over 4 minutes. If the Watchdogs repeat that, take 4 minutes off the clock again, you're going to be with a minute left here in this third quarter. And you're right, Coach Lundstrom and the staff over there have got to hope they get a 3-and-out here. On the offensive side, Coach Ronaldo's got to be telling himself, let's just keep doing what we do. Let's do what we've done all year. Chew off 3 yards, chew off 4 yards, and kind of methodically work some first downs here. Get the ball on their own 35-yard line. Van Otterloo working off the left side. He's got some moves. Stiff arm, still working off the left side. He's bumped out of bounds. We should see a flag here, and we do.
Go back to, I want to say this right now, Matt Anderson is kind of in a tough situation because he makes it a light push. You have a muddy sideline. Van Otterloo slips. It was certainly late, but him going to the ground, it's just one of those bang-bang plays. Unfortunate for Anderson, and it's a big 15-yard penalty against the Canton Seahawks.
Yeah, and anybody that's been on the Beresford sideline, the field is a little offset. It's just the way it was done 40 years ago. The visiting side does have a little bit more grass before the track. It's a little shorter on the near side, but Van Otterloo was clearly out of bounds. It was a push. It wasn't a devastating blow, but it was a push nonetheless out of bounds, and the quarterback running the ball.
Yep, and as you mentioned, you can even see it right down as we have that look. Also, I mean, it's green, and then all of a sudden it's just brown because guys just walk back and forth, and there's no footing right there when you're running full speed.
First down and 10. Watchdogs from the Seahawk 46-yard line. That's Frederick. He's taking defenders with him. He was hit about 7 yards into that, but ends up carrying it for a good 12 to 13 yards.
Yeah, and he even went sideways at one point on that run. Usually you just fall over at that point, but able to keep his feet just turning back forward and picks up great yards for the Watchdogs. And don't move too quickly, though, Watchdogs. Use some of this clock.
So clock at 4:40. Watchdogs up 18-8. First down and 10 from the Seahawk 30-yard line. We've got some excitement from the fans standing right in front of us, Heath. And, we've got the same thing going digitally. My phone, it's not blowing up, but I'm getting a few texts. Former students that I had in school, people that lived in town, moved away, people that are just saying, hey, I'm not going to go out in the weather tonight. I'm going to stay home and watch. And I'm just getting a few messages here and here. There's a lot of excitement around this Watchdogs football team.
And going off that, too, with Live Ticket TV joining this family, so many people would say, I heard that comment, well, it steals away from Gate. Well, it's like, no, actually, when we have advertisers that make this broadcast available for free, 50% of all that money generated from advertising as well goes right back to this school. And, of course, if you're a business, you got your chance to advertise and show yourself off as well to those local supporters. And Canton Seahawks fans, I mean, right down the road, they're currently watching this broadcast as well.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Heath, we've had a few calls. Your ads are on there. People know how to get a hold of you if they see the ads on the commercials. You go to our Watchdogs at Live Ticket. You can see the ad that has your phone number on there and your email address.
Yep.
You are the face of Live Ticket in terms of on the sales side. So if somebody is looking to reach out, if you're a business out there, they know how to get a hold of you. Just go to Watchdogs at Live Ticket. Your little ad is on the side, and we see it pop up through the commercials as well. Your phone number's there. Call anytime.
Yep, call anytime. If I don't answer, I'm probably in my rec football, or I'm calling a volleyball game or a football game. Those are usually, or I'm sleeping. Those are the reasons I don't answer.
Yeah, we'll get to region volleyball shortly here, but Watchdogs 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. I believe that was Tadlock's going to take it for what looks like about 3 yards, so 2nd and 7 for the Dogs.
Yeah, good region volleyball coming up as well. Of course, that's coming up on Tuesday, and there again get my chance to now go to Canton and help out the crew up there with live ticket on Tuesday with Canton and Vermilion playing.
Yeah, so Beresford is kind of right in that middle zone.
Yeah.
We kind of thought maybe we could be the 5 seed and travel to the 4 seed Lennox. The other night we drop a hard one to Del Rapids, and you had kind of told me, I'm going to finish this playoff. That's a pass out to Tadlock, takes it down to the 4-yard line before he is brought down by number 21, Tayton Oshheim. But that's first and goal for the Watchdogs.
4 of 5 for 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. Who would have ever thought Tate Van Ouwerloo has those type of numbers in a playoff football game?
He is the epitome of efficiency tonight.
He is.
All right, so Watchdog fans, near and far, let's get on your feet here. First and goal, Watchdogs from the 4-yard line. Van-Ouwerloo's going to give it to Tadlock. He's in. Touchdown, Watchdogs.
Tadlock just kind of got bumped right there at the line of scrimmage, but just kept on falling forward. Back-to-back touchdowns to open up this second half, and this is where the Watchdogs really starting to show their muscle here in the second half.
All right, pretty exciting stuff here at Cortland Carnes Stadium. Again, you're listening in, you're tuning in. We're trying to highlight all students on the field, but you are getting a little bit of a Watchdog broadcast. Favoritism there, that's just what it is. But again, Watchdogs up 24-8, 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in this third quarter. Watchdogs going for 2. That is Van Ouwerloo. Tries to stiff arm and loses his footing again. And just didn't quite have it there. And out on the coverage out there on that wide side is Tayton Oshheim.
Yeah, the second time that he slips. Unfortunate there. But right now in a great spot if you're the Watchdogs. Still, though, a 2-possession game for the Canton Seahawks. I'm kind of surprised they didn't try to kick the extra point that time.
Yeah, good opportunity there. 2 minutes, 4 seconds. Let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with more 11A.
Advertising can be a struggle. Where to spend your money? Are you reaching the right audience? If you are looking for an effective method that reaches a large fan base at once, then here is your spot with Live Ticket TV. With over 65 schools in the state of South Dakota, we can help you find the right market. Plus, you can work with me, Heath, and a portion of all sales made go right back to the school. Get a hold of me today and let's get started in helping build your brand with Live Ticket TV. Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and more. The colder season is here, and you need to keep that perfect golf swing. We'll use the indoor golf simulator. And, of course, you can always cheer on the Watchdogs, no matter the sporting event, at Classics Lounge. Jared Olson, the voice of the Watchdogs, back over to you.
Oh, Heath, I don't know if you caught that as you were finishing up that little ad. That was a line drive kick. Front row, that was number 60, Landon Hartman, the junior, 5'11", 180 pounds, and that thing was a rocket coming right at him, and he snagged that thing.
I don't know if he plays any soccer, but he might be a pretty good goalkeeper if he would like to join the soccer team. As you mentioned, yeah, that went right down his feet, able to collapse on top of it. I don't know if it was meant to go that low either for the Watchdogs.
Yeah, I don't think the coaching staff had that set up, but, man, that drilled him and how he got his hands on it. Great job there. Speaking of getting hands on it, the ball got free. Merkel does jump on it. It's going to be a loss of about 1 or 2 on the play.
Yeah, it just hits Merkel's right hand. Of course, that's where you want the football, but it just took a bounce off of it, bobbled it with his left, went to the ground. Nice job by Josh to fall back on top of it and make sure the Watchdogs didn't get a hold of it.
Landon Hartman. Man, what a play. All right, here we go. They're spreading out. 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Merkel in the gun. Right there was number 24, Robert Watkins. Almost thought about trying to go out there and get that one, but he kind of wisely holds up, gets a hand out, but gets an arm around the receiver. Gave up the pass, but didn't give up any additional yards beyond the catch.
Yeah, great catch as well by Anderson. He's had his struggles defensively, but as I mentioned earlier, he's just been huge in the receiving game, able to hold on to it nicely and make it a very manageable third down for the Canton Seahawks.
Seahawks cross midfield, third and about 6 from the Watchdog 49. Here's the blitz again. Open space. Nobody's there for him. You called it earlier.
That is the dangers of Merkel right there, able to pick up 14 yards on 3rd down and 7. Just had the open grass right in front of him and really makes the Watchdogs pay.
Watchdogs brought Frederick off of that left side. We've seen him blitz a couple times. They brought him again. They had the pressure, but the middle of that line just opened up, and there was tons of open green space for Merkel.
And again, they keep spreading things out. They want to throw the football.
Pressure's not getting there. Merkel does tuck it. He's going to run again. More open space. Defensive backs are going to come up, and they do run him out of bounds on the Watchdogs about 27-yard line. So Merkel makes the most of that and actually goes for a gain of about, let's call it about 7 yards. Can bring up, I'll call it 8 now as they move the stick another step forward. It's going to be 2nd and 2 here for the Seahawks.
And the question, if you're the Watchdogs, is do you start to bring more pressure, try to get to Merkel, or do you start thinking about maybe a little bit of a spy now on Merkel if he's going to keep using his legs the way he is?
All right, 3 left on the wide side of the field. Merkel looking left, scrambling right. He does throw it. No receiver there.
Merkel that time again was looking down the field to run it himself. That's a great time to do it. 3rd down and 2. You just need 2 yards. Go get the 1st down and 2nd down. Unfortunate that he just throws the football, and he did it off his back foot as well. Never planted there. Never going to complete that one.
All right, Heath, we had another shout out. Big 3rd down. We've got cheers coming from Indianapolis. Would you believe that, Heath?
And that's what makes it so fun with Live Ticket TV. You can watch from anywhere in the world. It's great to see this type of viewership from all across the United States.
So our FFA is down at National Convention in Indianapolis. Oh, defensive play off of Stennon's helmet. It was a little bit of face guarding, but it does bounce off his helmet, and the Watchdogs get very fortunate. But National FFA Convention, Indianapolis, we've got our FFAers traveling in a couple Suburbans. They're at an Airbnb tonight, hooked up to the Wi-Fi, and they're cheering on the Dogs from multiple states away.
That's awesome to hear, and congratulations to them, and I hope they're enjoying their trip down to Indianapolis, right? Is it down to Indianapolis? It's got to be like a little slight tilt, right?
Yeah, I think it is. 4th down and 2 here for the Dogs. Seahawks, 2 left, 2 right. Merkel's got the pressure coming, finds a receiver. It's hit by Robert Watkins and breaks it free.
Oh, wow.
I thought he timed that up really well.
It's a bang play. I thought so as well. It's just so close. Man, I want to say he might have gotten there just soon. It's a very, very big call to make as the official over there on that far side. Kevin Kroll in this type of situation, but it's going to be a pass interference and goes against the Watchdogs.
And this is high school sports. So we're fortunate to have the officials we have. We see a number of high school games played Friday afternoons, Saturdays. They tried to move some games to Thursdays a year ago just because of the official shortage. Again, they're out there doing their best. We're watching it from a long ways away, and it was a bang play. I got excited as a Watchdog and a big fan of what Robert Watkins does. But flag goes against us. Now it's an opportunity for the coaching staff to talk to the group and the seniors to say, 1st and 10, they're in our territory. We're going to put a defensive stop.
Yeah, and kind of like you said as well, going back to the officials, the job that they do, I know as a fan you just sometimes get caught up in the moment, but I mean, you look at the NFL officials, right? They get paid $100,000+ They make all this money. They have all these meetings. When it comes to high school, I mean, these guys have daily jobs. They have other lives. It's just so grateful to have them. I'll never fault a ref for making that type of call there. Just so fortunate to have them. But now, as you mentioned, going to the 4th quarter, Canton Seahawks have life as they're able to set kind of inside, I believe, just inside the red zone there. We'll see if they can't get now a touchdown after they get helped out on 4th down and 2. I was surprised there, though. When it got the 2nd and 2, not once did they run it. They threw it every single time.
Yeah, it's clearly in throw mode. It's 24-8. Again, if you're watching from home, Beresford 24, Canton Seahawks 8, 16-point spread. That's 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions. We're 12 minutes left in this game. Seahawks fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the Watchdog 15, and now they're back under center. That looked like a backwards pass. Shirk was bringing the pressure, and they get it dumped out to...
Yeah, it was a wide receiver screen there. That Merkel pump faked that twice. I mean, it was completely broken down. Doesn't look like they get a yard, but just an amazing job by the Watchdogs defense to see that wide receiver screen coming the entire way.
Yeah, so out there on that side is the linebacker, Zach Bowden, Seth James, and Landon Shirk. All three of them had him wrapped up and stood him up when he caught the ball.
And Kane Wallner is really elusive. He's a hard guy to bring down, so nice job by the Watchdogs.
Okay, Seahawks get back in the gun. 2 left, 2 right. Looking right all the way, looking for that screen. Now he's back left, scrambling. That's Seth James, wraps him up with pressure brought from the backside. That's number 56 for the Watchdogs.
And not getting probably enough credit, or maybe as you said it, Seth James actually, as a D-end, never ran forward to tackle Josh Merkel. He just kind of played that zone defense in basketball, making sure Merkel had nowhere to go. Wait till the backside pressure helped out.
He left it for the senior Aaron Larson, number 56, to come clean it up on the backside. So great tag team action by James and Larson. All right, loss of about 4 on the play. That brings up 3rd and 15 for the Seahawks from the Watchdog 17-yard line. Merkel looking right, pressure's there. That was James. He gets away. He is hit hard there by Svegan, I believe it was. No, it was Stennen coming from his defensive back position. Timeout, Seahawks. Out comes Coach Rich Lundstrom to talk to his team. Let's go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back.
This is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
They are an independent insurance agency, which means they have made it available some of the best companies for your insurance coverage. They service clients from Beresford, Sioux Falls, and all the way down to Elk Point, Jefferson. At Jensen Insurance and Real Estate, they work every customer to everything they need. When you're ready for insurance or real estate, make it Jensen Insurance and Real Estate in Beresford.
Heath, we got a new addition to the production crew up here. We got Heath Penn, another one of our students here at Beresford School, joining us. Hadn't been on the equipment before. Hops on. He's running us from commercials and back into action again.
Great to just continue to see this broadcast booth completely full of high school students and getting their chance to learn.
Merkel drops the ball. He is able to regather it. That's Larson again.
Oh, my goodness.
Huge play by Aaron Larson coming off of his defensive line position.
And on 4th down, you needed a huge play if you're both teams. Larson is able to break free and make a huge play. A big loss of 8 yards as well. And a turnover on down. So the Watchdogs, it's all about working the clock now. What a great play there by Larson. Again, he just came on a delayed blitz as well and just makes it really happen for the Watchdogs.
All right, Watchdogs take over on downs here. Huge defensive stand. They brought the pressure when they needed to. 10 minutes on the clock. Yeah, let's do what we do. Let's give it to Tadlock, run it between the tackles, gain of a couple, let that clock tick.
And now for the Watchdogs, it's all about watching Aaron Vanderberg. He is the back judge. You got to be watching him. He's going to hold up hands to start ticking down the time. If you're the Watchdogs, make sure you're taking all 40 seconds or close there every opportunity that you get.
Okay, Watchdogs going to hand it off here. This one's Frederick. He's going to go forward and be brought down by number 21, Tayton Oshine, but not before he can pick up a gain of about 6 or 7 on the play.
Nice job by Peyton. He hasn't put up flashy numbers tonight, just 9 carries for 22 yards. And now But ultimately, that last run makes it a very, very manageable 3rd down and 2. The playbook is wide open for the Watchdogs.
Yeah, huge 2nd down there. You pick up 6-7 yards, and all of a sudden you're in a very manageable 3rd and a long 1, short 2. Timeout, Beresford. Watchdogs want to talk this one over and make sure they get it right.
Well, we've been talking about this as well, and Jared, correct me if I'm wrong here. West Central is going to beat Madison tonight. It's 35-0 with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. That's going to be an indication of a running clock. Are we agreed? Are we going to take this show on the road next Thursday?
You know, we have not really traveled Watchdogs live ticket, but, you know, you might actually convince me on this one. We'll see here.
It's semifinals.
It's semifinals. You almost kind of feel like you have to.
I feel like you have to at this point. I know some people in West Central. They just redid their broadcast booth. I know they have a spot available. It looks like we're going to need to reach out to some ADs.
All right. No, we don't want to count our chickens before they're hatched here. Beresford 24, Canton 8. There's 9:06 left on the clock. But if the Watchdogs can pull this off, and we travel to Hartford next week, and you've got a booth space.
Okay. Now, I do have to say this much. Say Canton makes a miraculous comeback here. Seahawks would also travel. I'd also still be up in West Central and Hartford, so.
All right, let's get this thing finished up. Let's seal the deal here.
They went that time to Tadlock, and I think he is going to be right there at the marker.
Right on the 30 is what the linesman's putting down. They're going to say it's 4th down. It's 4th, and it's got to be just inches. They're keeping the offense on the field is what it appears here.
This is interesting right here.
From their own 30-yard line, up 2 scores in two extra points. Van Otterloo's been over talking to Coach Owen Ronaldo in the headset. He trots back into the huddle, breaks the huddle.
Going for 2, try to get them to jump off sides. If they don't do it, we're going to call a timeout, punt it away.
That's very possible. He's under center. No, they're going to snap it. He looks like he's got it.
Yeah, he got it. He's falling forward. That is so uncommon to see. Usually it's the try to just jump someone off sides and see if he can't work. Beresford takes a huge gamble and it pays off.
Wow, what does that say about the coaching staff's belief in this team?
And this is what it is. The seniors, and Coach Ebert said it to me earlier this morning, they changed the mindset. They went into this as sophomores, that they wanted to build something special here, and now as seniors, that just shows the confidence and the mental toughness they have.
All right, Watchdogs back under center. Van Otterloo's going to give this one to Frederick. He is met near the line of scrimmage by a couple Seahawks. Looks like coming up number 14 and number 44. Help me out, Heath, who we got there?
Yeah, nice job there by Bo Williams, who has been so quiet tonight offensively, but he's been a huge linebacker, a great wrestler, as I mentioned, comes up with a big tackle. And again, for the Canton Seahawks, I feel like at this point, man, I'd bring the house. You know what? If they do another play action, able to find someone downfield, then at this point for the Seahawks, it is what it is. You have nothing to lose. You know that Beresford just wants to run the football, though.
Yeah, clock is ticking. 7:06 on the clock. Beresford 24, Canton 8. Going to pitch it out to Stennon. He's got a couple lead blockers. Goes for about 4. There's a lot of excitement. He might have fumbled that ball.
It looks like it might have came out late there.
Seahawks were excited. Now they're not as excited. I'm just going by reaction of the players on the field.
And Beresford's clapping like they have it.
Okay, Beresford will retain the ball. So gain of about 5 on the play. Check that. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 now.
Oh, yeah, wow. 5 carries for 75 yards for Jack Stennon again. He came in for just 120 yards during the regular season. My goodness. But 3rd down now. 3rd down and a little bit longer for the Watchdogs. Again, I really want them to really start paying attention here to Aaron Vanderberg. That back judge, try to use more and more of this clock as much as you can chip away.
6:22 on the clock. Watchdogs under center. Snap the ball. Misdirection. Play action. He's rolling out. He's losing his footing. He gets the ball away. That is his center that he threw it at. He was outside of the tackle box.
We do have 2 penalty flags that come downfield as almost an indication that it's going to be some type of pass interference. Again, even though Van Otterloo threw that to the ground, it's still considered a pass, and that's what's going to be a pass interference that goes against the Canton Seahawks. Wow.
Yeah, it might have been a holding possibly on the defense back there, I think maybe, but...
And if you're a Canton fan, you're saying, hey, he didn't even get that close to getting it downfield. He basically just threw that into the ground. But it doesn't matter. And yeah, you mentioned it's a defensive holding downfield. It's going to be an automatic first down and get Beresford up to the 46. Wow.
All right, Watchdogs move the chains again. Van Otterloo was under pressure back there. Lost his footing again. Gets the ball away. Fortunate for a penalty against the Seahawks. That is Tadlock again, I think, and he is working hard for those 5 yards.
Oh, my goodness. He got hit there about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, and he just kind of kept putting the shoulder and the helmet down and just kept on bucking his way forward and picks up a nice 4 yards.
All right, 2nd and 5 here for the Watchdogs. Clock is ticking. Tick, 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 tick. 5:43. Watchdogs up 24-8.
And again, you can't quite see it on live ticket TV, but we're watching that back judge. Recently, the Beresford Watchdogs have gotten him to start counting to 10. This time, they snapped pretty quickly.
Van Otterloo to Frederick. He is met at the line of scrimmage. That initial contact was made by number 44. You just referenced him a minute ago, Bo Williams. Timeout Seahawks, and they're going to start using them.
Want to give a huge shout out once again to our Beresford sponsors, including Beresford Chiropractic and Massage by Sherry. Everyday adjustments are important to keep the body healthy and strong and feeling young. At Beresford Chiropractic, they can take care of your everyday pains and get you readjusted and feeling great again. And if you need a little loosening up, Massage by Sherry can help melt the daily stress away, found right inside at Beresford Chiropractic.
All right, Seahawks using a timeout there. It's going to be 3rd and 5 from the Watchdogs. They're right on midfield. Heath, what is Coach Lundstrom talking to the team about over there?
This has got to be make a stop, first of all. And if you are this second guy to the ball carrier, start aiming for the football. Punch, pull, whatever you can do. We've seen it wet conditions. Again, not raining anymore. It hasn't been raining since halftime, but still try to strip it loose. Make a big play here.
Yeah, you do kind of hit on it. The grass is still wet. We're still going to see a wet ball out there. And Watchdogs, I'm assuming on the other side, are saying, hold on to that ball.
Yep, two hands over it. And if you just go to the ground, you go to the ground. No big deal.
Van Otterloo going to option. He is hit about the line of scrimmage. Gain of about 1 on the play before he's wrapped up. I believe in on that tackle, looked like was number 11. Kane Wallner.
And that time, Van Otterloo's just got to know he has to pitch that out. Had some space there outside to Jack, but he saw just that little glimmer that he wanted to keep it himself. Not able to pick up the first down. But for the Beresford Watchdogs, in the end, really able to take up over 4 minutes of this clock and do a nice job of chewing that up.
Clock still ticking, 4:42. Dogs back in punt formation.
And again,
good snap.
We saw that time the back judge put up his hands and start counting down 5. Beresford does a really good job of using the clock there at the end.
Ball does go out of bounds at the 24-yard line, so no chance for return there for the Seahawks. Quick commercial break. We're going to come right back after a quick commercial.
In times like these, it's good to know there's a place where people know who you are, no matter how long you've been gone. A place where the smells of home cooking are still in the air, where a simple wave warms your heart, and sharing stories is just a way of life. It's good to be home. Agraria Insurance Company, protecting what's important in life. Contact your local Agraria Insurance Company agent.
Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford is your destination for fun with darts, pool, and to catch all the action no matter what game it is. The colder season is here. Keep your perfect golf swing by using the indoor golf simulator. From the gridiron to the court, Classics is your spot to catch all activities of Watchdogs Live. Ready to cool off with a cold one? Classics Lounge is always ready to serve them up with a bite to eat too. That's Classics Lounge in downtown Beresford.
Heath, what a sack there by number 60, Shirk.
And they come back, able to pick up some nice yards back on that sack. But yeah, going back to it, on first down, Merkel is back to pass. We're going to see the Canton Seahawks really start to fling it around. And Beresford, as we've seen them kind of struggle at times to get pressure to Merkel on the last two possessions, able to get to him, and that was a huge sack. And now, even with the completion to Derek Teason, sets up third down and 11.
Yeah, that was number 60, Landon Shirk. All D3 defensive linemen in standing formation. They're going to have a little bit more trouble bringing the pressure here with only 3 rushers. Merkel is scrambling, trying to find a receiver, but they're swallowed up here. Looking across the middle, and that is enough for a first down, but now we're going to see a flag come in.
And I feel like Wallner took a shot to the helmet there. This one coming in extremely late, but a pickup of 14 yards to Kane Wallner and added probably additional 15 on this for the Canton Seahawks.
So Shagrud was on the coverage.
Yeah, personal foul. It's going to be that hit to the helmet. Again, you look at it kind of accidental, never intent to hit the head there, but in the end, 15-yard penalty and gets Canton all the way down to the 14 after a completion of 14 yards.
Yeah, I think it was Van Ouderloo coming in off of the side. Saw the ball in the air, collapsed on it. Both of them kind of sandwiched the receiver and do pick up the penalty. Here comes the James. Wrapped up also by, who was that second defender? Seth James is the first one there. That's Zach Bowden also. Great play by Zach Bowden to come in and help clean that thing up.
You got to keep doing this now. You can't just start rushing 3 and say, all right, defensive backs, make sure you're covering somebody. You can't give Josh this much time. You have to keep bringing the pressure. If you're the Canton Seahawks from Merkel, you just have to shake that one off. You held on to it, or you just really didn't have the time, I should say, and see if you can't make something happen on second down and long.
Yeah, loss of 9 on that play again. James with a bull rush. Bowden coming out of his linebacker position. Quick slant there. That is caught by number 15, Derek Teason.
And able to get 10 yards back, and Canton quickly back up to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, we're going to see hurry-up offense here. They're right back to the line of scrimmage. Pump fake, looking, that's pressure off of the other side this time. That was Tadlock, doesn't quite get there. Merkel gets it away.
And Merkel landed that time. He made a tackle on Seth James as he was throwing the football as well. But now it's fourth down and 10. If you're Beresford, stand strong here, and you're moving on to the semifinals, and could be the first playoff victory since 1993 here at home.
Wow, it's going to be a miracle night here in Beresford, and no surprise if you followed this team at all at the end of last season and all of this year. Minute 59 on the clock. They're up by 2 scores. Big fourth down coming here, but you really do get the feeling this is their time.
Yeah, this is something special that has been going all season long. You go even back to the petition to stay down in 11B because it's just a couple of kids that put you over to Classy 11A. Try to get the petition down. Doesn't happen. All right, we have a lot of great seniors. Let's see if we can't make some type of noise in Classy 11A. Things just seem to, at times, have bad bounces, but it was always that mental toughness that the Watchdogs were able to respond back after a couple losses. Otherwise, close victories throughout the regular season. You finally put yourself in that position to play here at home, at least for one game. You give these Watchdog fans who have braved the weather tonight everything to cheer for. And with now under 2 minutes left to go, fourth down and 10, the perfect storm has come to Beresford, and it looks like it's going to carry them up to Hartford, South Dakota next Thursday.
Yeah, pretty awesome experience here, again, for the fans, the students, the cheerleaders, you name it, the community as a whole. We've got alumni watching from a distance, lifelong Watchdog fans, so they got an open receiver on the right side.
Make a big play, and just like that, the Canton Seahawks aren't done as they're able to find Matt Anderson along the far sideline, able to pick up, looked like about 30 yards, yeah.
That was a huge play. That was a college level almost looking play where they just threw it out to the sideline over the shoulder. Ball is hit, thrown out into the middle of nowhere on that far side of the field. Seahawks survived to play another down here. And more importantly, Merkel stops the clock.
Yeah, Merkel stops the clock. He's thrown for 189 yards so far tonight. Again, coming into this, he was 82 of 140 for just over 1,000 yards and 6 touchdowns. But able just to find Matt Anderson once again, make a huge play, bring up 2nd down and 10 after that incompletion, though.
2nd down and 10 from the Watchdog 11-yard line. Wind is blowing in the Seahawks' favor. Blitz is coming. Quick gets it out by Merkel. He finds his receiver on the left side. He's wrapped up by Stennon. Clock will tick here.
Yeah, Canton quickly back to the line of scrimmage, but that is something that's against them right now is the clock, as they're now under 90 seconds remaining here in the football game.
Merkel went all the way over to the far side of the field, the right side, to talk to his slot receiver. Let's look for a little out over there. No, he's coming in. That's a floater out to the corner. It's Anderson. Ball is broken up. He went up to the high point to get it, but the coverage there by Shagrud.
Falls incomplete, and once again it brings up 4th down. 4th down and 4 for the Canton Seahawks. This right now to keep their season alive.
All right, 4th and calling that 3. I'm going to call it 4th and 3 here for the Seahawks on their own 4-yard line, just inside the 5. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Merkel gets the snap. He's looking left. No, now he's rolling right. He's got a receiver in the corner. Jump ball. It's broken up.
It's the quarterback, Tate Van Otterloo, who went and waited till it started coming down, fought for it, got his hands in there, makes the defensive stand, and for the Beresford Watchdogs, Canton Seahawks throw one last punch, but they respond back, and this streak since 1993 is going to come to an end.
What a picture over there in that far corner of Cortland Carnes Stadium. 3 brand new flags flying high on the new post. And that's the corner that the offensive receiver goes up. Van Otterloo, the big senior leader, is there. He goes up, breaks it up, brings it down. And now the Watchdogs are in victory formation with 1:07 on the clock.
What a special moment. And this is not just a special moment for the 34 guys that are on this roster. This isn't a special moment for the coaching staff. This is a special moment for the town of Beresford, what they've been able to build as a program over the past several years. We saw that amazing run they had in the postseason last year, and now at the Class 11A level to make this kind of statement win in front of their fans, just a special moment.
All right, Van Otterloo back under center, takes a knee. 34 seconds on the clock. This one should do it here then.
Yep, it's under 40. They don't need to take another snap here.
Okay, the hugs from both sides. Great sportsmanship. Right at the end there, the Seahawk linemen weren't lurching or doing anything crazy like that. They acknowledged, hey, great battle, and a lot of handshakes and hugs out there. Watchdogs survive a thriller here, I should say. Again, kudos to Canton. Great season. They had a tough schedule.
The Watchdogs have just built for so long a tradition of winning coming into this game tonight. You heard the talks as well, Jared, that this was going to be a dogfight. This felt that it could be anyone's game. A lot of people reference back to week 2, 7-6. Hey, Canton feels like they could change the narrative of that game at different moments. But in the end, the Beresford Watchdogs braved the weather. And it seems like it was so many unlikely heroes that got it done tonight. Their passing game, 2 big touchdowns with play action. Jack Stennon goes over for 150 yards of total offense. Just an amazing way to adapt and overcome, take what the defense gave them, and Beresford able to make it count when they had the opportunities.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching as this unfolds here in front of us at midfield. I see coaches coming over to give Roger Krause, our number 1 fan, a high five. I see Arlen Lickness come running across the track, gives a 5 and a huge hug to head coach Scott Ebert. And now to see again the opportunity for these two teams to shake hands. Rich Lundstrom now giving a hug and a congratulations to head coach Scott Ebert. They've known each other a long time, track coaches, football coaches, and the opportunity that the Watchdogs are going to have. And I believe they're going to come out here and do their traditional dog jacks, which has been a tradition that's gone on for years here in Beresford, is dog jacks. And both squads coming together here midfield, and again, a great outpouring from both communities to help a Canton staff member in need at this point. Pretty special evening here in Beresford.
It was a special evening. I mean, there was so much, of course, to play for here tonight, and that was the one guarantee coming into tonight, was someone was going to go home in tears knowing that this is the end. The journey is over for Canton seniors as well. You don't know for sure when you put on the pads when it is going to be officially over. Canton, just one of those teams, though. It seems like each and every year they're always in the playoffs. You can never write them off. And it was even that way tonight. It seemed at moments it was like, all right, it looks like Beresford's going to win this. And all of a sudden here came Canton with a little bit of life, fighting to the very last moment. A very special team. You talk about Josh Merkel. It's just one of the first ones that comes to my mind. A 4-year starter. The impact that he has left on this program. One of the biggest things you can say as a senior football player is leave the program in a better spot than when you first stepped in. And for this senior squad and for the Canton Seahawks, they certainly did that. Yeah, you referenced Merkel, 4-year starter. How crazy is that in 11A football? And he started as an offensive lineman. That's probably the craziest part. He didn't even come in as a quarterback. And yeah, so many others as well. And on the opposite side, this is a senior-led squad. I mean, a lot of people have been like, oh, what if we're going to look like next year? Well, who cares about next year? Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the ride that you're on if you're a Watchdog fan.
All right, we didn't play West Central in the regular season. What can Watchdog fans kind of look ahead to next week with? What can they expect coming out of the Trojans of West Central? So right now you're telling me we're confirming that. We're going to go to Hartford, South Dakota is what you're telling me. I had a former school board member text me and said, you're going on the road. It looks like we're going on the road. So, yeah, West Central is a team that, let's be honest, Justin Zerpel is his name. He is the quarterback. He's Mr. Everything. I mean, take what you saw tonight with a Josh Merkel, and that's exactly as he was. Zerpel is Josh Merkel times 10. He's just a guy that can really throw the football, but if you give him just an inkling of space, he's going to take off. He's going to use his feet. He's been a dynamic quarterback. Owen Heath. He's going to be really interesting, because we saw Canton at points be able to throw the football. You can't stop a kid like Owen Heath, who's a tight end, 6'6", about 230. We saw Owen Heath torch the Canton Seahawks for 5 touchdowns and just 10 receptions. All they did was just throw it up to Owen Heath, and he made plays. Another West Central team, and this is going to be very interesting as now you get to this part of the season, semifinals, even to the Dome. Everybody has kind of that point of two-way starters, except for the Beresford Watchdogs. I mean, they'll go a few guys that are can kind of switch in and off, but they only have 34 guys on their team. At the Class 11A level, you should be seeing 60 to 70 guys. That's what West Central has. You talk about tradition of winning for Canton. How about tradition of winning for the Trojans and going up there to Hartford? Oh, very dangerous place to play. Yeah, a lot of banners in that gymnasium and hanging out there at the stadium. It takes me back to some of my early years here in Beresford when we played 11A, and I can remember going up there for first-round playoff games. We were the lower seed going to a number 1 seed, and the old cannon being shot off out on the railroad tracks or on the edge of the field there. I'm looking forward to it. I guess I'm pretty excited. I'm kind of thinking, on behalf of what this means for a coaching staff, and I'm just trying to think the amount of film that Coach Lickness and the rest of the staff are going to pour through this week and get the group ready for what you're talking about is an explosive offensive quarterback, and defensively, how will they scheme that up with a little spy, or what are they going to do to try to bring pressure and disrupt it? And then how do you cover a receiver that you're talking about that's 6'6" and can go up after the ball? Yeah, and on the opposite side of that as well, for the Beresford Watchdogs, I'll be honest, sometimes I find myself shocked
at the way they're able to run the football so efficiently, so often. And that's going to be the scheming as well. Play action seemed to work, and I feel like maybe on kind of wet, tougher conditions, it seemed to work tonight. But West Central is going to be scouting as well. They know a little bit more of what to be expecting. So I'm going to be interested as well to see what Beresford brings offensively, what new wrinkles they add if they want to beat the West Central Trojans.
All right, Heath, I appreciate you making the trip. You bring a lot of insight. Great job on the call tonight. You were keeping a ton of stats on a board as you're making the call, so we appreciate your expertise here in the booth and adding to what Watchdogs Live Ticket's able to bring the viewers at home. That's about it, Heath. I think we're going to wrap this thing up. Final here in Beresford, 24, Canton 8. Watchdogs are going to travel on to a semifinal football game in Class 11A.
And we're confirming it right now, right? We'll have all the coverage right here on Live Ticket TV.
Renee? She's in. She's in.
I'm in. Jared, you in?
Okay, she thinks she wants to get paid for this trip, but she's going. We're all working for free, and this broadcast is going to happen.
We're going to make it happen. We're going to do it next week. Don't worry, we'll have something special for you two. How's that sound?
All right. So this is signing off. Jared Olson, Renee James. Working on the camera and helping us out on the production was Hunter Penn, Easton Boom, Gavin Stewart, and a special guest here on the headset, Heath Nimke. So thank you, Heath.
Hey, thanks again. I'll see you next week.
All right, signing off from Beresford. Beresford 24, Canton 8.